Hey everybody, how's it going?
How is it going? Oh, there we are. See us now. Oh.
Uh-oh, I hear. Do I hear myself coming from you?
Yeah. I needed to mute the
what
stream.
What are you doing? What? All right.
There's a lot of people here for like it. I mean, even before the stream was even on, really, there was a lot of people waiting for Half-Life.
Yeah. You know, somebody mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, and I realized, I haven't played through Half-Life since like when it came out, and I remember very little about it. And I played through Half-Life 2 several times, and I've never played through this version. But I remember trying it and realizing, like, wow, the controls are very modern FPS.
Yeah, I mean, it does not feel like you would necessarily expect for like a PC conversion of that time.
Yeah.
Like so when you say you played the original when it came out and then played Half-Life 2 several times, were you playing them on PC?
Yes.
See, that's interesting because like I don't really know much about like any phases you had with PC gaming.
Let me know if my audio is better. People were saying that I was loud. I should be a little bit better now. Hopefully I'm not like clipping or anything. It should be good. Let me know if I turn myself down too much. Let me know.
Well, while people are getting a feel for your volume level, did you have like a good PC at that time?
I mean,
for gaming.
Yeah, I guess I had like a Voodoo 3 at that time.
Okay. I don't think I realized you had a Voodoo at any point.
Yeah, I had a coworker who was like way into PC gaming, and he was all about the like the dual Voodoo 2s running an SLI and stuff like that. He was like getting Quake and just like playing Quake 2. He was very into like tweaking these games as much as he could, but then like not really playing them very much. I get it. I get it.
Sounds like a lot of people these days.
Yeah.
I mean, I play them on PC as well because I got I never really had like a PC that was built for gaming, and it was kind of like an accident that it was built that was good for gaming because I did like a big 3D animation project my last year in college, and like I wanted I wanted a much better computer, so my cousin helped me build a new one. That was the last time that like I got help really building a computer because like I watched him do it and I'm like, oh, I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I downloaded Steam. Half-Life 2 was still pretty new, and I downloaded a package that had Half-Life 2, Portal, Half-Life 1 Source and regular, and a bunch of other things.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was pretty blown away by Half-Life 2, but it took me I put off playing through the whole thing for a long time because I want to play Half-Life 1 first, and Half-Life 1 made me feel sick for some reason. So it took me a while to actually, and then I just like I picked a weekend. I'm like, I am playing through Half-Life 1 this weekend. I don't care how sick I feel playing it. I'm just going to power through it. And I didn't feel that bad powering through it, but for some reason, like I would feel a little like, oof, I need to lay down after playing Half-Life 1 for like a half hour. It's like that is something very, very rare for me, but just something about the particular pace of that game.
So there was $1 donation from Chris Fratt saying, fun fact about the PS2 version, if you didn't know, it actually supports anamorphic widescreen, which you can turn on in the settings. You can also play it with a keyboard and mouse if you plug them in. So I'm gonna turn on the widescreen. I'm gonna switch over here.
You gonna switch to the widescreen view?
Yeah, let's see if I can do it here.
I wonder if it impacts performance negatively.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out. And I think you can probably change it whenever.
I wonder how similar the Dreamcast port would have been. What was that? I forget. Was that ever leaked? Like a build of that?
The Dreamcast?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, totally. So we'll see how this goes, and I might have to switch my settings here.
There's also a $3 super chat from Gaming Blows. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, you ever do the decay missions in Half-Life?
No,
PS2?
no.
Is that unique to the PS2 version?
Yes, it is. It's a co-op mission.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I've never really done side content. Oh, you're...
I need to...
Oh, okay, you need to change it on the version.
Yeah.
I
do you remember
don't think
where
I've ever played like any of the, like, what is it, Blue Shift or whatever.
I played Opposing Forces. Do you remember where it is? Is it the scaling crop?
This train is inbound from level 3 dormitories. Sector C test labs.
Why can't I think of it right now? I'm having...
Anonymous. Saying, evening, fellas, about to try this on my modded Dreamcast.
How about that?
In area 9 and board a high security.
I know. I'm trying to search it. I forgot how to do it.
Your identity to the retinal clearance system.
Why can't I remember?
Personnel for processing before you will be permitted
This, I mean, is it?
branch of the transit system.
But what are you doing?
I'm just trying to change the video mode. Is the H sampling?
Due to the high toxicity
Oh, here we go.
material routinely handled in the Black Mesa compound.
So
No
we'll do that.
smoking, eating, or drinking are permitted
Oh, yeah,
in
there
the
you
Black
go.
Mesa transit system.
It looks like the text, I'm guessing.
Yeah, the
maybe
text
some of
is-
the HUD
is-
elements may not be
To open the doors until the train has
resized
come
for
to
the
a complete
widescreen
halt
mode.
at the station.
Yeah.
But at least the 3D stuff is
In the
probably
event of an emergency,
that's common in this time.
passengers are to remain seated.
Yeah, I mean, this runs pretty good. It definitely stutters here and there, like you can see, like when I'm turning. But for the most part, it's pretty. I think it's impressive.
Better than you would expect.
Yeah.
Stay away from electric trains.
Decry New Moon was wanting to know what hardware and cables are you using. I assume you're using
Just
the HD Retro
PS2.
Vision component?
Yeah. I'm not using HD Retro Vision.
Just official.
Yeah.
And RetroTink 5X, of course.
Yeah.
Via G-Comp.
Yeah.
Were you using a fat or a slim?
Fat. And I am playing it off of the hard
Off of a
drive.
disc? Huh?
I'm playing it off. It's installed on my
You're
on my
doing it off
SSD.
OPL.
I know the SSD doesn't make a difference in terms of speed, but less moving parts always helps.
That the Black Mesa Hazard
Um,
Decathlon will commence
Are you
this
using a controller?
Yes.
I should think so.
I'm not
But
using.
yeah, as Chris Pratt said, it could be a mouse and keyboard, I guess.
Yeah.
You know,
it's just too far
is it
away.
just me? I don't know if it's just me, but I find mouse and keyboard controls to be unpleasant to look at, like as a viewer in like a stream or in a
Yeah,
video
I can
content.
see that. Yeah. for
Like
sure.
it as a player, obviously it's highly accurate, but it just feels very it doesn't look smooth to a third party observer, in my opinion. Like it looks very jerky and like the point.
Right.
Whereas there's more of like with a stick, there's more of a ramp up, ramp down with the viewing.
Yeah. And I think that playing like a campaign is totally fine. Like with mouse and keyboard, you need it for like online.
Oh,
But I think it's totally fine to
yeah, I'm
play something like this, like campaign.
Yeah.
But that decay mode, this is exclusive to this. I bet has it been ported to the PC version? I wonder. But it's a co-op. It's a co-op mission.
Crazy.
Yeah, and you have this too, don't you? Do you have this
Oh
version?
yeah, I do. Yeah.
Like, that might be fun to do sometime.
Work safe. Work smart. Your future depends on it.
I do want to say, like, I guess since it's like so close to the start of the stream, is like I'm really trying to get the new episode done for Wednesday. Like that's like the goal that I've set for myself.
I mean, it's kind of almost a cutoff because you're going out of town.
Right. I will not be on stream next week because
Right,
I got to go down to Florida for work, and you know I'm going down there because it like I opted to go because it's in Fort Myers where my family lives, so it's like I can go visit them for a few days before I work. So I'm going a couple of days early. But I'm guessing the episode's gonna be about 40 minutes. You know, like I want it to be around. Well, the PS1 stuff is like the longest part because there's so much, and I really only cover the best stuff. But I spent a lot of time like getting into, you know, like the Dex Drive and stuff, which comes back into play with the N64 stuff.
Yeah. Do you think the N64 like? You probably know more, honestly, about the N64 stuff at this point just because you've researched so much.
Mm-hmm.
But like, do you feel like you want me to look at the N64 part just like to be sure you're not like overlooking like some basic functionality or something?
You totally can if you want to. You can be my guest.
Like I said, you possibly know more than me about it at this point, but I just want to make sure because I know N64 is not your jam.
Right.
They were having some problems down in the test chamber too, but I think that's all straightened out.
Any inputs on that CRT?
You headed down there as soon as you got into your hazard suit.
Doesn't look like it.
Wow, Mr. Dots thinks that he honestly thinks Half-Life 1 is better than 2.
Come on, Gordon, you trying to get me into trouble?
It's a bold statement. Like I say, Half-Life 1, I've said it before, like Half-Life 1 was a little hard for me to get into. Whereas Half-Life 2 just like immediately grabbed me, and I think it's one of the best first-person shooters ever made. But
yeah,
I didn't play Half-Life 1 until Half-Life 2 was already out.
Right. Okay. So, but like at the time, like it was so much more immersive than any other FPS that you'd like really had played at the time, at least that I had played.
I mean, John was talking. I mean, I guess this is. I think it's actually the episode that's going up tomorrow, but I saw the early access DF Direct.
Mm-hmm.
Someone was asking about GoldenEye.
Right.
Or there was some question about GoldenEye, or maybe it was just the news item. And John said, back in the day, he played GoldenEye and liked it, pretty well. But then, like immediately, he's all about Half-Life, right? But he says, like in retrospect, like he sees how like there's such different games. Like GoldenEye is really kind of a unique sort of thing. The structure of that, was somewhat adopted by Perfect Dark, especially adopted by Time Splitters 2, of course, which was a lot of the same people. But it's kind of a subgenre of first-person shooter that died off. And something that I really realized when I revisited Time Splitters 2 and Future Perfect when I was working on that Perfect Dark episode, like I realized that when most first-person shooters have like a list of objectives,
right?
I see you blowing up the food in the microwave, and there was a $2 from Mitch B saying, "Blow up the food in the microwave."
Yeah, I mean, I saw that. That's why I did it.
There was another missing one, but hang on, I'm going to another one I skipped. I'll get back to that. But to finish what I was saying, like I really realized that when games like Halo or many other first-person shooters had something called objectives, like functionally it was not the same thing as objectives in GoldenEye. Like they were maybe a general marker of like this is the thing you should do, but but it's like in GoldenEye, it's like something that you're like kind of keeping an eye out for and need to keep in mind, like in your approach to the level, and something you need to look out for or do or not do. And that kind of thing where it drops you into the world and you kind of become the world kind of moves around like clockwork, and you are like this agent of chaos that can kind of poke at it and see if it falls apart at the seams. And what I've heard about the Hitman games,
they're very similar.
Very similar to that.
I really want to play those. Like among
first-person shooters, there's not a lot else like it. I think Thief is apparently pretty similar.
Yeah,
but I believe it came.
I'm gonna play Hitman. I'll play Hitman 2 because that's the one I have. I'm gonna play that on the next stream. I heard like I don't know if that's like a good move or if I should try to play it before that. Just
you should probably try to do the tutorial before.
Yeah,
I played the tutorial in one of them. I forget which one. You should probably definitely do the tutorial first, but that might be interesting. There was also a $4.99 from Madonna Sheehy. Thank you. Saying happy birthday to my husband Marc. That's Marc with a K. Saying my favorite Sega super fan. We love watching MLiG every Sunday night. Thanks, you two, and Sandy and Nelly. Sandy, do you want to come here and say happy birthday to Madonna Sheehy's husband? Come here. Sandy, what's this? What is Coury playing right here? Look at this.
Sandy's like, it's Half-Life. Of course I know what Half-Life is.
Sandy, look at this.
That's interesting. I mean, tomorrow is my wife's birthday.
Like, look at this funny thing that's happening on the screen. Yeah. Say happy birthday to Madonna Sheehy's husband, Sandy.
Now, if you follow standard insertion procedures, everything will be fine.
I don't know how you can say that, although I will admit that the possibility.
There's like two scientist voices on this.
Oh yeah,
that's what I love about it.
This very much has the Elder Scrolls syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
We've assured the administrator that nothing will go wrong.
But yeah, tomorrow's my wife's birthday.
You're right.
Oh wow, okay.
Complete confidence in you.
And then next week is our wedding anniversary. I'm not going to be here for our wedding anniversary.
And Nellie's birthday was like a week or two ago, right?
Yeah, so we could go today, I guess.
Apparently he said that the Sandy Wave is one of the best things he's gotten for his birthday.
Am I climbing up?
There's also $1 from Chris Fratz. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying if you're ever interested to see how far Valve went on the minutiae and details, check out a YouTube series called The Half-Life Fact Files. There's things like how cockroaches actually have AI and react differently to certain situations.
In this?
I would not have considered giving cockroaches AI in a video game.
Is it possible? I wonder if I can turn on subtitles here. I feel like I'm missing stuff. No. I thought there would be subtitles, but maybe not. They were not quite standard yet.
Oh, this is awesome. Rears to Blood is saying, watching it work was just playing Lufia 2 on my analog pocket using my real copy rip and save from the Retrode 2.
Yep.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
Yep. I mean, exactly. I started
doing it legit.
When I was laying in bed last night, I started playing Final Fantasy Mystic Quest on the pocket. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm like,
is it your own rip?
It's not my own rip, no. But
you didn't have a save in that anyway.
No. But you know, when I travel, when I travel, that's what I'm bringing. I'm just gonna bring that. I'm gonna bring that, and you know, like there's something about just having Super NES on there that is very exciting to me. And
I mean, you were initially uncertain as to whether you would really travel.
Well, yeah, that's true, but I feel as though like
You're
I mean,
supposed to
like
push the
when
box-
there was just
the
portable
box
games
into
as the
into
options.
thing.
What's that?
You're supposed to push the box into the thing.
Oh, that's right. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, I brought it on a trip back in July. It was the first time that I had ever really played it for pleasure, like any way, like outside of like working on that episode, right? Like I was testing it and stuff, but I wasn't like just like I'm playing on this because I want to play through this game.
Right.
And I actually brought it and played through Hammer and Harry Ghost Building Company. It was great. And if I feel like if I was not already working through like a Switch game, like I feel like I could see it being kind of my default travel thing going forward, because some of the games that you can play on Game Boy and Game Boy Advance or Game Gear, like, or if you did use a jailbreak thing, are much more pick up and play and stuff. And the sleep mode is definitely kind of a game changer for
well, you can't use the sleep mode
travel ability of
with
those games.
Open
really,
FPGA, as far as I know. I tried to use sleep mode. I don't think you can use it with Open FPGA. Unfortunately.
But you can use it with the built-in cores, right? It doesn't, like having Open FPGA installed doesn't make you unable to, right?
Right. I mean, you have the same option you had before, but you can't use, like Super Nintendo, you can't use sleep mode. Like, I wonder if that stuff will get added later on.
Well, it might have to be up to the developer, because it's essentially a save state, right?
I think so. Yeah, essentially, but
I think it's basically a save state, so they would have to. They'd have to, I guess. We got a very serious question for you, Coury, from Dr. Butt Fat Man.
Butte.
Dr. Butte Fat Man. Coury, who's the best girl in Project A-ko?
I'm going to say A-ko is the best. I know that you're going to say Seiko, but I think the Seiko is pretty annoying.
I mean...
I'm sorry.
I mean, not that I know anything about Project A-ko, but you are very much a... when it comes to video games, you're very much like control like the normal main character. You don't like... You always like playing like the character that the game is actually about, right?
Yes. If I have any choice,
like you don't really play as anyone other than Adol, even though they have like a party system now.
Yeah, the only time I ever play as someone else is if I'm just like doing like side stuff and I get a trophy or an achievement for playing.
See, I think it's fun to play as other characters. I like I like playing as like the ranged characters and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. Coury likes picking the generic, the Mario, as Drummond Lynn and I tend to call it. Because we always say, like, if you're playing Mario Kart or something, like here's a game where you have an opportunity to not play as Mario. Why would you play as anyone? Why would you play as Mario?
So you can quick save as much as you want, and then you got to like do like an actual full save.
Oh, so it doesn't commit to the memory card?
That's cool though. It's just a quick save, and then when you're ready to...
It's cool that it exists as a feature at all.
Yeah.
Can you do it without going into the pause screen?
I don't think so.
See, one thing that I think I was saying it was either last week or the week before, whenever it was that Half-Life came up on a stream recently. Do
I need to...
one advantage to the PS3 version over the 360 version of Half-Life.
Will say there's no
Oh,
What am I missing here?
the orange box
Yes.
is. I'm pretty sure they never implemented in the 360 version where you can just hold the start button and do a quick save.
dimensional.
Do I gotta go back down? Did I miss the?
The crowbar?
I thought that was like impossible to miss, but maybe I did miss it.
I don't think the crowbar can't be in here. Are you sure you're just like not
Talk to the scientist and lead
approaching
into
that
the
door
security
correctly?
panel. Okay. All right.
Sorry,
it's been a long. Like I said, it's been a long time.
there was also a $2 from Warren Hokie. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Saying still rocking SNES games on my new 2DS XL with custom firmware. So I guess you can. Is it using the
You know.
official emulator?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. It's just you playing the
just
installs.
injecting the games. I've really not heard anything about how well that works, but that emulator I think is actually very impressive because it uses interpolation on a 240p screen, and that should not work very well, and it kind of does.
In that
So
case,
like you
yeah.
actually get like the correct aspect ratio for SNES games.
There it
It's
is.
it's a little crazy. You would not think that you really have enough pixels on a 240p pixel display to.
Forgot about the elevator that falls.
Oh yeah.
I missed him fall, but I heard him.
There was also a 25 from EB Chill 2. I'm assuming this was typed on a phone because my phone does this all the time too. Where he says, "Happy birthday to your wife, Court."
Man, am I
No.
to you? What the
Yeah,
Do you ever get that with autocorrects, Court?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
And happy
Thank you.
anniversary to you both. I'm trying to finish Mass Effect 3 and get closer to finishing my MLiG 7th Gen playlist. But Tali, my girlfriend, threw herself off a cliff. Kinda sucked.
What?
7th Gen playlist.
Oh. All right.
Wait, I guess I kind of forgot about that. The main characters in Mass Effect 3, like, they can die if you like don't fully prep things correctly, right? I kind of forgot about that aspect.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something I remember very much either. Oof.
I think if you had to do like a certain number of side quests or something.
Yeah, I didn't lose anybody in any of the games that at least that I know of, that I remember at least.
There was also a $5 from Love of the Game.
Thank you.
Saying the lock-on in this game is amazing. It's Ocarina of Time style, but allows for skill-based tweaks. Would love for more games to copy it. I don't think I was aware of that. So, can you hold a button to like?
Yeah, you can
Like,
lock on.
like, or is it kind of like Metroid Prime?
It is kind of like Metroid Prime, but I haven't played it enough to really know. So I can hold it down.
Yeah, I don't think I realized it. I
You
mean, to be
lock
honest,
on
I
it
don't know
and it just holds on there.
or can you just like circle around them?
Yeah, well,
almost?
you can just
But
you
then-
can do it, but
then you can aim. That's a cool idea.
see how I'm like
Oh.
I just hit my lock on button and it just like stays locked on.
Oh, I don't remember getting a gun this quick.
I didn't
Oh,
either.
that is really cool, actually. That is really cool.
I'm not gonna try the keyboard and mouse. The PS2 is like way over there, and it would really require me to do a bunch of stuff to make that happen.
The only console shooter I've played where I was like, oof, I don't know if this is going to be playable with a controller, is the HD ports of what are they called? Jedi. What is it? Jedi Outcast?
Oh yeah.
Or Jedi Knight 1 and 2, whatever the titles are. I'm drawing a blank.
I wish the first Jedi Knight would get a port.
Isn't that what?
No, it's Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight is the first one, and then there's Jedi Knight 2. I definitely played the first Jedi.
I have Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, and Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast.
Yeah, so Jedi Academy is the I guess technically the fourth one in the series.
Oh. I got these came.
And that's like you create a custom character in that one.
These came the day it was either the day the Xbox Series X or the PS4 came out, which was like a day or two apart anyway. But I remember popping it in and I was just like, oof, like I feel like these hits should be registering on these enemies and they're not. So I actually don't know if those games support keyboard and mouse, but I'm sure hoping they do. I never tried it.
Can't break the last. Jedi Academy is the fifth game. There's Dark Forces and Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight, then Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast, and then the fourth one would be Jedi Academy, unless there's something in there I'm forgetting.
Oh, did you? Since Chris Frasses doesn't appear directly in the chat, did you see this one where he said, "I posted this in stream chat, but I want to make triple sure you see this, Coury. Make sure to quick save often. This version doesn't autosave.
All right.
No autosaves.
Right.
No autosaves. Yeah, I think I overlooked that one. Sorry about that.
When is Dark Forces 1? Is it getting released? Is there like a... What is it getting re-released on? I would... Or is that... You mean just like in general? Like you want me to play it?
There was also a $5 super chat from Brent McLean. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Saying, I have a RetroTink 5X and would like to run an Xbox, Wii, and PS2 through it. Can I use a splitter? And if so, what one would you suggest? Thanks, fellas. I mean, without a doubt, the best one out there right now is the G-Comp. I don't actually know what the...
I mean, things are probably going to change once the pixel effects.
Right, and so the Pixel FX Infinity Switch, like, it's kind of this modular thing. I don't know when it's coming out, but these are not, none of these that we're talking about are going to be like cheap solutions or anything. I mean, I don't know what your reason for splitting would be. I mean, if you want to split the RetroTink output, that's no problem. I mean, there's tons of HDMI splitters out there, some of which even strip HDCP.
What is oh my god, I'm gonna...
But if you want to split the component, I mean, if you have a PVM, you could... if you're like wanting to run to a CRT and to the RetroTink, like for capture or streaming or something, you could use the outputs from the PVM.
That's a close one.
To then send it to
what splitter? Is the game too loud?
Huh?
Or is try not loud enough? I can turn down the game if it's too loud. Someone was asking what the splitter. You were saying the G comp.
Well, the G comp, but I am, since I have one, I don't know what the current availability situation is. The Infinity Switch is coming, and then someone else in the chat mentioned Extron Crosspoint. I don't know what the pricing on those are like these days, but obviously that's going to be excellent if you have the means to convert component to BNC. Unfortunately, like the BNC RCA to BNC converters that you're going to find on like Amazon are like super terrible. Like the quality should be fine, but the connection is just very loose. It's very much at risk of just kind of falling out. Like there's much higher quality BNC adapters that you can get through like I think more professional focused websites like MarkerTech or maybe Mauser Electronics. I'm not sure who all might sell like actual good BNC connectors. But yeah, the Extron is definitely an option. If you find one on eBay, Extron Crosspoint. But yeah, G-Comp is great. Infinity Switch is almost certainly going to be great. But I don't know what like the cost of that will be. But the thing is, you could in theory just buy the modules that you need on that.
Yes, exactly. And
expand it.
It's gonna be awesome, but I can like totally feel like I'm gonna get out of control with it. It just feels like something I won't be able to like restrain myself. Like, what order do I want to put them in, or something?
I see Ginaman saying I got some BNC RCA adapters from Amazon recently, and they are tight. You mean tight on the BNC end or tight on the RCA end? Because what I'm talking about is like the RCA is just very loose fit. BNC sometimes can almost like work too hard. Like I've definitely had some BNC connectors where I thought I would never actually fully turn it all the way to where it actually locks. But eventually I did get it on the RCA end. Well, that's unusual.
Man. Oh, okay. There we go. Like that is like swimming through any kind of tunnel with like no way to like go up for air is like my worst nightmare. You know what I mean? Like just
yeah.
or like swimming and also being in the dark.
Yeah, I mean there are a lot of video games where you're either in a cave or a flooded building or something, and you just don't know where the next air pocket's going to be.
Yep.
Oh man, a diagonal elevator. You know it's a video game
right.
now.
I like how the head crabs just go flying off.
There was with no comment, but a $1 super chat from Chinook. Don't know how to say it. Thank you.
Chinook. Thank you.
And then there was also a 5 Canadian from Dathan Smith. Thank you. Saying, hey guys, I'm starting to see very faint lines on my 32-inch Sony Trinitron that aren't scan lines. What could be the cause? Very faint lines. Is it like sometimes if you've got like a dark screen and you have like a brighter object in the middle, like sometimes you'll see like kind of a horizontal line like radiating out of the bright part. Is that what you're talking about? I am not positive, but I think that, it could be a CRT issue, I believe. That kind of happens on the PVM that I'm using kind of as my temporary main PVM until Steve can hopefully get the 20L5 fixed. We'll cross our fingers
is he
on that
thinking
one.
that like it might be a chance he won't be able to fix it?
I mean, he was not able to fix a 14L5 of Bob's that had a similar issue, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But he said that the L5 series, like, there's so many different versions and stuff that you just couldn't say, you know?
Oh, gosh.
You know, he didn't want to make any firm commitments. But anyway, the one that I've been using is kind of my main one. Like, kind of has that issue where, like, I noticed a lot when I was streaming Final Fantasy IV several months ago, for example, where if I was in like a cave, the sprite in the middle would kind of make this like soft, faint white line kind of emanating through the darkness. It could be a CRT issue, but I think it's possible that can also be like a connection issue, like you know, either improper capacitor setup in the cable, depending on, you know, the system, whether it needs capacitors or resistors in the cable. It could be caused by, you know, a poor quality switch, poor quality cables elsewhere in the chain. So I'm really not an expert. I've definitely seen things like that come up more easily, even in like a upscaler. For example, if you are using a PS2 SCART cable on a PS1, there can be issues like that. Or maybe vice versa might even cause a similar issue. Because like the capacitance is not correct. So you'll get some sort of like horizontal ghosty artifacts of some kind. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but that's what jumps to mind for me. Madonna, she wants me to tell you that she and her husband both beat Yakuza 7.
Oh.
So did you hear that? I guess they are starting with like the Ishin game or whatever it's called.
They're switching to like Unreal.
They're switching to Like a Dragon.
Oh yeah, and they also seem to be switching to Unreal, like the Unreal.
Oh, that's right.
Engine, which is kind of weird because they just spent all that time like doing the Dragon engine, and now they're gonna switch it. But whatever. I really like that they're changing it. You know, I had a feeling
it's going to make it really hard to talk about Yakuza Like a Dragon now. Because I think most people just call it
those call it Yakuza 7. I mean, that's like,
yeah, but like, are people going to start calling it Like a Dragon 7 now? I don't know. It's like, it's going to be really interesting to see if like the Yakuza name like kind of dies off in like public discourse, or if it sticks around for like a really long time.
Right.
Like, just like you know, you always stick by your guns on calling Final Fantasy 6 Final Fantasy 3, but I think most people have switched to Final Fantasy 6.
I mean, I will make that concession. I will do it like when, you know, like when I guess I'm talking to other people about it.
When it's necessary for clarity.
Yeah. I mean, I always preface it with the old, you know, Final Fantasy 6 or 3 or whatever you want to call it. You always got to preface it with like or whatever you want to call it.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Rear says Dr. Robotnik. I mean, even as like a not major Sonic fan, like I'm pretty heavy into the Dr. Robotnik. Well, one thing that I'm
I mean, I can't do Eggman. I think that's.
I think most people have gone along with the change though. But one thing that like I'm a little surprised there wasn't more resistance to was changing Princess Toadstool to Princess Peach. Like almost everyone seemed to make that transition very quickly. And that was very strange to me. I mean, you know, she was always Princess Toadstool.
Yeah.
And I know that the original Japanese is Peach, but I didn't know that at the time, of course. So it was very strange to me to see Toadstool die off, and I resisted that one for a while. But usually the name that will fall out of my mouth is Peach these days. But, you know, I mean,
you know, when Resident Evil 7 came out, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, I thought that they were going to switch the Japanese name over to Resident Evil, because I feel like Resident Evil is like I think it's a more recognizable name.
Yeah, but I wonder if in Japan though it doesn't sound so generic. Maybe.
Yeah. When these things like all warped in here, I just think it's funny that like these things like all warped into the ceiling, like they're just there.
You know, Ganaman is bringing up. I've not really looked into this, but Bob was talking about it. I think he brought up in his panel at Retro World, saying that there's an open source CRT project. It's not a tube, but replaces the electronics inside. So I've been thinking about that lately, where it's like, okay, like any good tube you have, like you should not throw it away, even if it seems unrepairable, because I mean, I don't know how expensive it would be to build one of these open CRTs. But like that, I'm really curious about that, because Bob was saying like you could use like any tube to make it push like a higher resolution than that tube would have like originally been designed to do. Like you just need the tube, and then you can, you know, direct it to do whatever else with this open CRT concept. I'm really interested to know more about that, and like how expensive it is.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be quite expensive to build one. It makes me kind of regret, you know, I threw away like a year or two ago an Apex brand CRT. It stopped working. I asked Steve about it. I was like, you know, you think this is worth preserving? He's like, not really. You know, it's too cheap of a brand. But the thing is, like, I actually really liked how it looked. Like the tube itself looked great. Like it really had a strong scanline effect and really good color. And it stopped working. It was actually the CRT I had set up at my parents' house. And every once in a while I would bring a system to play. I played through all of Dawn of Mana on it, and it looked so good on that tube in S-Video. And now I'm kind of like, oh man, I wish I didn't, you know, I wish I didn't throw away that CRT, because like I wonder if if that tube would have been a good candidate for an open CRT.
Do I need to find another way?
But I don't know. I don't really know anything about that project other than what I've heard Bob talk about, and maybe see another thing or two kind of in passing.
Yeah. There's $5 from JLight82. Thank you. Saying, am I the one who thinks the chair next to Coury has a smug look on its face? It's saying, all he ever does is sit on me. I'm so depressed. Or he's saying, I know I'm the most comfortable recliner.
I mean, I'm kind of seeing it maybe kind of like its eyes look like they might be kind of looking to the side toward Coury a bit.
Yeah.
And like I'm seeing like almost kind of like a goatee, maybe.
A go-it? Yeah. It's funny though. It almost looks like this wooden wall here. Not really, but the same color. So yeah, I mean, going back to Yakuza really quick. Although there was a retro YPBPR has been a member for 23 months, saying, "Hey, it's Scooter140. Changed my name as the Discord only for patron members," and currently that is the case. Yes. There's really no plan to change it.
More manageable.
It makes it more manageable, and I mean, I feel like we have we have such a good group in there. Just it just goes a long way, I think, to getting people. I don't know. It just it feels more like you're there because you want to be, not just because it's
no one's there stirring up trouble.
Yeah,
generally.
I mean, people have disagreements, but it's usually handled really, really, really well. I was thinking about different things, doing more stuff with in the Discord. I was thinking about doing kind of a hangout stream where I would play something that anybody people in the chat would pick, and maybe we'd work through an entire game that way. Maybe once a week or something like that. We do a hangout.
Yeah, I've thought about that.
But I'm not sure if how that would work with on voice chat. Would people be on voice? I'd want people on voice chat and talking with me. But I'm not sure if everyone was in there, if it just makes it so that everybody talks. I'd not turn on the lights in the electrical water room.
I mean, I guess if someone didn't want to talk, they can always just mute their mic.
Yeah, I mean,
did you see the one from Chris Fat saying, "Quick load, Corey. If you kill the zombie guard, the guard can open the gate and you can get some extra goodies."
Oh well, I'm not worried about it now.
Your resources are probably fine.
Yeah,
I don't remember you getting this level of weapon this quickly. Actually, you got the gun sooner than I remembered you getting even a handgun.
Turn off the lights in the electrical water room. Okay, so can I go back through here now? Or what did that do?
Oh, so Retro YPPR was saying, I think I'll switch platforms then. So is there no way I mean, I gotta be honest, I actually didn't know.
There's the YouTube member, I can post videos and stuff for them, but it doesn't work in the same way. It doesn't give me.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I honestly didn't know.
There's no option for it, unfortunately, to have
Discord integration.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I can recheck it and see if there's anything that's been added. Oh, I can go through here, duh. Let's do that.
Does this take place the same time as Portal? I don't think so. Although, considering we're talking about astrophysics with this whole series, what does same time even mean, right?
Yeah.
Everything and anything and everything happens at the same time.
I really got to see that movie. The
that crazy multiverse thing.
Yeah, I heard it's really, really good.
I don't know anything about it.
Well, know that it's supposed to be really good.
Is Black Mesa referencing still alive? It's been so long since I've heard that song. It was such a meme for a while that I think I retroactively distanced myself from it.
Can I go through it now?
I mean, of course you're playing off the SSD, but I wonder like how much that's improving those little load times because they are just really a quick blip.
Probably not very much, if anything, because the game is on a CD, which I think tends to load.
Oh,
pretty
that's
fast.
right. That may speed it up. I forgot it was on a CD. That's a little crazy, actually.
I really hate.
They're very comparable to what I remember. The loads on like Half-Life and Half-Life 1 being on my PC years ago.
So can't go up there. Obviously, I don't want to stand up. Cut my head off. Can I get over there, I wonder? The load times on disc are awful. Are they like... Is this like way better than it is on the disc?
But apparently Half-Life 2 loads on Xbox are worse. I've always kind of wanted to play that version of Half-Life 2.
The Xbox 360 version?
Yeah,
or just the Xbox original?
The regular Xbox version.
Yeah.
How interesting. Just look at that.
I've never played through the Xbox 360 version, but I think it's got both resolution boost and frame rate boost. Let me think. Orange box backwards compatible.
I mean, I have. Do you have that version of the
I'm
Orange
pretty sure
Box?
it has FPS boost. Huh?
Do you have that version of Orange Box? Is the Xbox version?
I do. I mean, I've also got the PS3 version.
Okay, I'm going around in circles here. I'm trying to find out where I need to go. Can I go? Can I open this thing now? It's like it's not opening. What else I got to do to open it? Or maybe I just can't go that way. That's not the way I'm supposed to go. Oops. Did you see that Freedom Planet 2 came out?
Yeah, and I saw John was distressed about the performance.
I mean, what I've played of it, like I haven't run into any issues, but I'm not sure if he's trying to do things that.
So you did get it on PC?
You know what? In the moment, I was like, I just really want to play it, and I did. It was like on a discount. It was like $22 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And where am I supposed to go? Move the box. There's a ladder in the ceiling. Okay. In here. Oh, okay. Thank you.
I can't find.
Can I go up
Orange
here?
Box has FPS boost. It may not. Maybe it doesn't. But I think it's got 4K though, at least. But I'm not sure about it.
The other way. But can I go up this way? The other way. Oh. Alright, I'm an idiot. Thanks. Thank you for your patience, everybody. I'm ice skating here, or I'm pushing this box around.
People don't want to remember. It's fine.
What?
Bartman says it's fine because this is the part of Half-Life people don't want to remember.
Oh, really? Is that because
Is it infamous?
I
It's confusing, I guess.
I don't think it's confusing. It's just that it feels like the floor like slides around like it's on like ice or something like that. I'm pushing around like on a ice skating rink. Come on.
Russia YPPR says, so now I'm an MLiG patron. Where's the Discord link? I actually don't know anything about how.
If you have connected your Discord to your Patreon, like it's just like an option, it'll automatically log you in.
So you can that's with any Patreon that you subscribe to. I guess.
Yes. And the
It's just part of
downfall
your-
to that
your-
is
your
that
Patreon account.
if you decide you don't like it, but you want to stay a patron, it will like automatically like log you back in every single month. Whoa. This shotgun is like, it's like Sarah Connor's shotgun at the end of Terminator 2. That's the kind of shotgun it is. Jeez. Get away from me.
It doesn't have a look to it that like if you
I
If
got
I
killed by
didn't-
the head crab.
if I didn't
my
know
gosh.
it was a shotgun,
Well, you know what?
I wouldn't be so sure that it was. I'm no shotgun expert.
Bring it on.
I guess I'll just do that.
Oh, you gonna have to do the whole?
I am, but now I'm gonna get the goodies.
Yeah,
I guess.
that was. You got a little too cocky and didn't save.
I didn't think about it.
Some of that ammo looks like you were too full to even pick up.
All that target range time is going to pay off today.
All that target range time is gonna pay off today.
Our luck has to change sooner or later.
All right, but I know where I'm going at least now. I gotta. See how fast I can do it this time.
It took me far too long to process that joke.
What joke?
Rally Lancer says, anyone ever wonder why Half-Life 2 wasn't just called Life? That's pretty good. But W. Scott is saying, shouldn't it be quarter life? I mean, I guess if you multiply a half by a half.
Gotta use that lock on. It's very difficult to like really get exactly.
I mean,
like,
you know, I never took like a physics class, and once biology and chemistry became math, like I kind of lost my ability to do well in science classes toward the end of high school. So
you're
I'm-
like not a math person. I feel like you would be really good at math.
No, I am not. I didn't do well in high school math, at least. I actually did very well in college math, but I mean, I was taking more basic math classes. Like geometry and advanced algebra were pretty problematic. But I mean, the thing was, I was like, I was in like mostly in like, well, where there was an honors version, I was in honors classes in high school, but like I did not really belong in honors math. But then the thing was, my last year in high school, like me and two of my other friends that were previously in honors math and just owning up to the fact that we're not good at math. We go like to the non-honors math class and we're like literally making like 110 on every test. like there was no middle ground. It was like we're barely making D's and then we're making 110. Like that was the gulf in difficulty between those math classes. But no, so I guess what I'm saying is I've never really taken like a physics class or, any like super hard sciences or anything like that. And like the concept of like half-life and radiation and stuff like that is like still to this day very abstract to me. Like I don't understand radiation beyond. Have you saved lately, by the way?
Yeah, I just did.
Okay. I don't really understand radiation beyond like it's bad, it lingers, but like it's so hard for me to wrap my head around like what it is and why it hangs around and what it does to you that's different from just like more tangible like chemicals that are like I don't know, like I don't know. It's that is an aspect of science that has always been a little hard for me to wrap my head around. is radioactive type stuff. Play more Stalker and Fallout. I mean, I've played Fallout 3 in New Vegas. I don't think Fallout is going to be educational about why Fallout does bad things to you.
Dang.
See, Brandon Smith, apparently the man with the PhD, says radiation is high frequency waves that mutate DNA. And see, like that's what I don't understand. It's like it's just
I love
seems
this.
so it seems so
like chunks of those people like fly out of the vent after they get pulled in. He was so like hell bent on like saving him, and he ends up like he won't let go. And it turns into chunks because of it.
But I mean, that just seems so intangible. Like I can't understand how that could have an effect. Like waves, it's so abstract. Like I just.
I mean, you got to be a little bit more methodical in this. Like just. You can't just go guns blazing, I think. I mean, maybe that's how I got to play
When I say mutate, I should say damage DNA. But see, DNA is like kind of a little bit of an abstract thing too for me. I mean, it's like the instructions of like how this being is constructed, but it's like. I do not have a hard understanding of the testing and methodology and things that people can do with that knowledge. Like it seems pretty complicated. I'm not. I love that couch.
I know. I was gonna say like it's very of the era. Like that looks like something you'd find in like your friend's parents' house basement. Like in their den.
Era, but we're talking 98 here. Right?
I know.
Like,
that's what I mean. It's like that's.
I mean, yeah, you would find it, but they would have bought it like 3 decades earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love it. I want that couch, and I want it with as low of a resolution of a texture as that one that has there.
Oh, is this? Yeah, I guess I'm back here. That is a crisp PS2 picture, isn't it?
Hmm.
Damn it. 5769 says that is a crisp PS2 picture.
Oh yeah. You're just doing 480i through the RetroTink 5X, right?
Right.
I mean, we don't really believe in GSM around here. I know some people swear by it, but I have run into like 1 or 2 games in my entire PS2 collection that didn't have some kind of issue with GSM.
Yeah, there's like zero chance of me like using that, especially on a game like I don't know how it's gonna run all the way through. Like it just doesn't. I just have no interest in like doing, like making the game like run like better than it was like designed to. I guess.
I mean, and two, especially with PS2. I mean, I don't know about this game in particular, but a lot of games like you really can't force 480p because they're only designed to output one field at a time anyway, and so they just break. So, you know, if you're forcing GSM, it's either going to be, it's going to fall apart because it does field rendering. The aspect ratio is going to be wrong, usually too skinny. The frame rate might run double.
Yeah.
Like I spent hours and hours and hours popping in all of my PS2 discs while I was working on the on that old PS2 200 RGB 200 episode. Like, I think I found 2 games that worked okay when you force 480p, but the only one I can remember was Escape from Monkey Island, of all things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it had the correct aspect ratio, nothing weird about it. I suppose you could correct the aspect ratio, but then here's the problem. Not all content may run at the same horizontal resolution. So, for example, Final Fantasy X, I forget which way it was. It was either the game ran at the correct aspect ratio, but the FMV scenes ran at the wrong aspect ratio, or vice versa. A game ran at the wrong aspect ratio and FMVs ran at the correct. I don't remember which way it was, but like sometimes the title screen might be a different resolution. The menu might be a different horizontal resolution. The horizontal resolution it's when you're forcing it, I think it might be forcing it to a square pixel aspect, or it might just be interpreted that way by the display or upscaler or something. I'm not sure. It might not be square pixels. I don't know, but it's interpreting it wrong. And the picture ends up being too skinny a lot of times, or inconsistent widths depending on the content. So the fact that it can change within the same game is just like...
They sound like Metroids.
I will admit, I tried 1080i in Final Fantasy 12 because it does have anamorphic widescreen. In a game that does have anamorphic widescreen, 1080i might be interesting. Might be. But you're not going to be changing the internal rendering resolution. And 1080i is you know, often hard to get good results with. I think you'd be just as well off or better.
I mean, like the GSM, it's a novelty, something to screw around with, but I would never use it to play all the way through a game.
No.
It's interesting to see like how it works, if it will work. But I mean, for the most part, I'm just gonna stick with the freaking.
I see Darker Eye New Moon is saying 480p through the PS3 back compat is beautiful for this game, and the PS3 480p is.
I mean, I have a 60 gig.
PS3 upscaling is still some of the best look that you can get for PS2 games, in my opinion. You know, it does run it. You know, the original rendering resolution, so a lot of people would say like, oh, it's all about PCSX2, which, you know, I'm not discounting the you know, the value of PCSX2, but I don't love running games. I don't always love running games at a higher resolution from this era or N64 or PS1, just because it can create inconsistencies in, you know, HUD elements, other 2D elements, the game rendering.
Look at that dude.
It can call attention to.
Imagine
you know,
like dying in this accident. Like that's higher body left.
You know, it can
look. I mean, look at his face. He's like,
you know,
this is how he's gonna be found. It's like,
yeah, and he was.
Someone sees him and they're like, "Hang on, he's gonna come in." He's like, the coroner comes. He's like, "That poor bastard."
I thought you were going to hit your soundboard and give us a. That's disgusting.
Someone is gonna look at that and to see this dead scientist and say,
I just can't believe it. You're amazing.
He does look amazing that he was able to take such a pose, honestly.
I added that and also this.
Cool decision.
Cool decision?
It's from Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Cool decision? Is that what it says?
Yeah. Yeah, because you know, I that is like very useful in the soundboard world. Like when you say something, you've committed to something. I can always say,
"Cool decision."
Like
it's like such a generic response.
I know, but at the same time, like I feel like decisions aren't cool.
No, that's the point.
They could be bad or they could be good, but decisions aren't cool.
Yeah, I know. Well, except for when you're picking your characters in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Heroes. Oh, jeez. He tail whipped me. Look at that. Look at that thing. And yeah, ugh.
That's disgusting.
I don't remember that creature at all.
Me either.
Honestly. Man, those tentacles are like really animated too.
I gotta do this part again.
The way that guy is posed, like he looks like he was like not placed there intentionally. Like that looks like, you know, that looks like some sort of just random chance.
Yeah, like he died that way. Or, I mean,
you
like,
know, the game physics like laid him that way.
Yeah, the ragdoll, like he ended up like
Yeah.
that. But no, like they were like, let's make him look like this. And you know what? The guy's boss said,
"Cool decision."
all right. Let's see if I can get this guy now that I have 3 shells left. Uh-oh. Oh, I got it. Oh, and then the...
Oh yeah, I do think the scientists can be randomized. It's funny how they kind of like took some of the generic guys and like turned them into like unique characters in Half-Life 2.
Yeah, for sure.
Like the Einstein guy never came back, but like Dr. Klein, Eli, and what's his name? Barry?
Yeah, Barry. Well, Barry's from Blue Shift,
Yeah.
but he's like the generic like.
He's just the generic like security guy. Don't you actually like play as him at some point, like during the main campaign too, though?
No, I'm pretty sure.
Aren't there parts where you like actually play as like an NPC?
I don't think
Am
so.
I remembering wrong?
Barney, you play with Barney in
not
Blue
Barney,
Shift.
Barney.
Like he's like the main character Blue Shift.
Oh wait, Magnuson, was Magnuson based on the Einstein guy? I forgot about him. He's only in episode 2, right?
I only played episode 1 and 2 one time, and I only remember the ending of episode 2, and that's like basically the only thing I remember from the entire.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the reason there needs to be a Half-Life 3, because like they've left it on such a cliffhanger.
Right.
I mean, Mega Man is still on the moon, guys.
That's the equivalent. I assume I have to get up there. Look at these. Why is there like these big hunks of meat just hanging? It's like there's a meat freezer at Black Mesa.
That's a great question. Maybe they need to feed a lot of scientists.
Yeah.
You would think though that the beef would be processed a little bit more toward preparation for eating though before it got here. But
Yeah.
people are probably like working here for like many months in a row, like and staying in dormitories and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So like when people come here, they're in deep for a long time.
So Chris Pratt says, I watched the ending to Half-Life Alyx. Like he says that, all I'm going to say is that
don't imply anything.
Well, I won't. But like I am wondering if the ending to Half-Life Alyx was only because they didn't make a 3, like, or didn't follow up with anything. It's like, okay, so how can we're just gonna have to make something that we can that's gonna be easier for us to jump off on after this long now. I mean, I barely remember the ending at this point.
Well, don't imply anything.
Okay.
Remember Tim Rogers' spoiler video.
Yeah.
Everything you could possibly say is a spoiler.
Yes. I'm like so close to being dead here. I'm just like this has got to be one of those games. What's actually pretty good though is that if you make it a point to only do like the good, like the hard saves, like when you're at like full power or whatever, like you can avoid getting stuck in a situation, I guess, by like doing the full commitment, like unless you know that you're completely safe.
Yeah, if Half-Life Alyx does come to PSVR 2, that'll be absolutely massive. I hope it happens. I was actually hearing some really good things about the VR mode in Resident Evil 8. Like it sounds more reworked than I kind of expected. Like
I'm more interested in the third person mode.
Yeah, I am too, actually. But the VR could be interesting. Well, like I mean, I shouldn't say the name of the character because spoilers, but I mean, but they've certainly been advertising it. I mean, it was shown in the Nintendo Direct for that matter. But you know, there is DLC upcoming that features a certain character that is only third person. Which
Yeah.
I think that's pretty exciting. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Dude, I'm so dead here. It says emergency, user death imminent.
There was 999 from good old Scott Davis.
Oh, I haven't seen
saying, "Hey
Scott around in
dudes,
a little while.
Greetings from quarantine day one.
Day one.
I'm stoked about more details with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and I hope Nintendo has an upgrade Switch to co-release. If not, maybe Dolphin will work."
We were talking about that a little bit, where like the release is at such a time. There's still plenty of time for them to announce like a upgraded Switch.
I am holding on to hope for now that them announcing the Zelda release date finally is secretly also the Super Switch or Switch 2 or whatever.
I feel like it's gotta be. And like I feel as though it might be like a mistake to not release it with new hardware alongside of it. It's gonna do great no matter what, but I think that it would be disappointing because, you know, like the original one had a hard time running. I feel like this is not going to run that much better.
Right. I mean, it's you know, I mean, the game would have, you know, gotten the acclaim it got on its own merits anyway, but the excitement of coming alongside new hardware definitely, I think, increased the interest in it. And I know this game is going to be amazing because I think Breath of the Wild is, you know, in like the top 3 games of the past decade.
Yeah.
But I don't know why, but I just don't feel that excited about playing a very similar but expanded game on the same hardware that I played the first one on, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm going to play it day one, whether it's on new hardware or not.
Right.
But I'm probably going to enjoy the heck out of it. But, like, in the here and now, I'm just, like, not excited. And if I knew it was going to be on new hardware, I would be excited. So, you know, that's just me. I mean, in the end, I don't think it's going to have a major impact on my experience with the game. And heck, the Switch, you know, is one of my most used consoles still. You know, I just finished Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Oh, you did? You finished it?
I did. You know, I kept thinking about that anecdote you told me about.
Did it take
guy
you
on
over
Twitter or whatever?
Did it take you over 60 hours? You beat it in under 60 hours?
I had not beat it in under 60 hours, but I was not that far off. I was just under 70 hours.
Okay.
So
listen, I can't take your you
can't take my opinion seriously. Well, you know what? I did not unlock all classes. I did the ones that I found. But, like, I did not find the quests for unlocking.
Listen, if you're not online using a FAQ to find everything in the game, I can't trust your opinion on it.
Come on. I found all but one of the main characters' class quests. Like, the side quests are really well done. And some of them are even implemented into the main quest. It's like you have to complete this quest before the main mission quest can proceed. It's really well implemented. They're really good, but I also I felt like I'd done what I needed to do with the game, you know?
Yeah.
I you know, one thing I did look up was I really liked the I forget what it was called, martial artist or whatever. I really liked the punchy class, which I didn't expect because
Whoops.
it's a
I mean, I thought that I would be fine.
I thought you'd be well out of the way of that. And Resident Evil, you would be super safe because I feel like in Resident Evil,
it has like no vertical.
Grenades. Well, grenades tend to have like a very wide radius for enemies and a very small radius for your character. At least that's what it feels like to me, which is very satisfying. But anyway, so I like looked up where to do the cap limit raise for the punchy class because that's the one I liked controlling the best at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
this better be worth. This better lead to some health. That's all I care about right now.
So anyway, like I felt you know
finished it and you liked it.
I finished it. I liked it. I you know.
Do you feel like
there's certainly a lot more good content in the game, but I felt like I did what I needed to do.
Yep. And that's one of the things I like about Yakuza, is that it has like there's so much stuff in it, and I just do as much of it as I like. I'm not gonna sit there and like grind out like the highest like every level of everything. Like I just think it's more fun that you can walk around and do stuff, but you never feel as though you are like you just do as much as you want to do, and and that's all there is to it. You don't have to feel any other obligations.
But anyway, Scott Davis, I hope you feel better soon. You know, I just got over my first bout of COVID a couple of weeks ago, so back at the beginning of September.
There we go. Give me that stuff. Ooh,
Give me August, beginning of September.
Stick me with it. There we go.
Right after Retro World.
Oh, that's the stuff.
It was not great, but it wasn't that bad overall. No lasting symptoms other than my cough kind of comes and goes still.
There's also $1.99 from Retro YPBPR saying, do you guys still use your consoles over Mister?
Yes.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm playing upstairs where I've got like all of the retro systems hooked up to CRTs and everything, I do have a Mister set up there. But I don't use it unless I have a reason to use it there. Otherwise, I like to use the real system.
That was like a real intense shotgun cock right there. It's like
if I'm playing downstairs where all the HDMI stuff is, and if I'm already playing down there, like I just use the Mister, you know, and I don't have a problem doing that. You know, I played a little bit of you know, remember many months ago I played Bomberman 94 on the stream. Oh man, that guy's face.
I know, it's almost like he's saying like, I buy that for $1.
Yes. that needs to be someone's avatar. Is that face. All
right.
But yeah, I mean, I really like using the Mister. Like if I'm already on that setup, like I was playing.
Go back and do this.
Well, I was actually playing Super Turrican in the Turrican Flashback Collection on the Backloggery stream on Monday, and I finished it.
Oh,
and
was it really good? I mean, was it as good as the reputation would? I mean, I have the cartridge of it.
Yeah, it was good. You know, what's weird is Drum was having a lot more trouble with it than I was, whereas he generally had less trouble than I did in the other Turrican games.
Really?
And I didn't have that much trouble with this one, and I beat it on my third attempt. And he thinks it's the worst one, and I liked it. But you know what's weird is we both agree that the Amiga games are better than the Genesis or Super Nintendo game.
Really?
Yeah, which I did not expect at all. But at least playing them in the collection, like if you're playing on a real Amiga, it's like up jump and stuff like that. But playing them in the collection, you know, you could have, you know, whatever key bindings you want. I thought the collection was really good. I enjoyed it. It's the first time in a long time that I've actually beaten like every single game in a collection.
And you're getting the second one too, right? Eventually.
Well,
I mean, I have it ordered.
The dumb thing is that there's 2 second ones.
I just ordered the one. I only ordered the second one from. Wait, there's 2 second.
So there's Turrican Flashback, which is what
we have.
Well,
yes.
Well, we have.
But then there's the anthology.
Also Turrican Anthology Volume 1 and Volume 2.
Is Turrican Flashback different than Anthology 1?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I ordered them both, the PS5 versions from Strictly Limited.
Same. Yes, it's really dumb. Like, to get the missing... I mean, I don't love that they did this. And, you know, of course, I don't have the willpower
so it
to...
sends me back here. Does that mean I gotta go back upstairs?
Buy it. Because I wanted it. I wanted all of the... I wanted a physical version of all the games. But the thing is... You're with each volume 1 and 2, you're like gaining like only 1, maybe 2 games per collection that you don't already have in Flashback. So it kind of sucks. And in some cases, it might only be a director's cut that you're gaining. I forget. Oh, that guy just Kool-Aid Man?
He didn't Kool-Aid Man. He dove out through the window. And
but I saw an enemy standing in like a.
Oh, then one of those guys they did Kool-Aid Man, like the dead scientist, the head crabbed scientist.
But anyway, I don't think I finished what I was saying earlier about, consoles and mysteries. But like, I started playing Bomberman 94 on the PC Engine, but since I beat Super Turrican and had time to play something else on the stream, I loaded up Bomberman 94 on my Mister, and it was nice because I mean it's a password game, so I had my password written on my backloggery progress note. And so I was able to continue that seamlessly on the Mister. Next time I play it, will it be on the Mister or will it be on my real PC Engine? Who knows? But I can choose either very easily. There was a $5 super chat from For the Love of the Game. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, did you hear the old Thief / System Shock 2 source got leaked? Also, an early version of Thief 2. No, I didn't hear about that. I mean, is it Night Dive or someone else that's working on? Isn't either System Shock or System Shock 2 or both of them? Aren't they getting like new versions?
I
think maybe so.
I don't remember. Ooh, we've got hostiles. See, so if I do an actual save right here,
but I do want to get whatever this new version of System Shock is. I've played a little. I can't forget if it's System Shock or System Shock 2. I've played several hours of one of them. Anyway, what?
I wonder how many saves you get per. If it makes individual saves on the memory card. I'm just going to use one for now then.
Stefan Payne was asking, you guys getting Valkyrie Elysium? I actually tried the demo for that last night.
Oh, really? How was? I didn't realize there was a demo out. Is it pretty good?
It's it's just kind of there.
Yeah. I'm gonna get it.
I'm going to get it too. I'm going to get it too. I played the PS5 version. I'll say that VRR helps. VRR is good.
Yeah.
The frame rate is
the
definitely
PS5 version.
PS5 version. It just kisses that 48 frames per second limit a good chunk of the time for VRR to work properly on PS5. Yeah, I still saw some frame drops, but it was pretty smooth with VRR. It was pretty smooth with VRR. But yeah, it was not running all that well. The opening FMV, I'm really curious if this is going to be different for the released game. The opening FMV is maybe, I was talking to John about it this morning, it's maybe the worst encoded FMV I've ever seen in my life. Like, I could not pay attention to the story at all because, like, it was like this. It was kind of using like artwork, and it was animating, and it kind of had this like texture over it, and the bit rate was so low, and the encoding parameters were so poor that like there was this visible like jump in like the encoding keyframes, like every second. It was just tick, 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 tick. Like you'd see like parts of it moving and then other parts catching up like every second. It was so incredibly distracting. So incredibly distracting.
I mean, I would hope that they only happen to keep the download size down, but
for the demo, hopefully. But like for the release game, like man, they gotta do better than that. Like, I mean, if the Switch, I mean, is there a Switch version? I forget. Maybe I don't think so.
Going for it.
Or is there?
Jeez.
I don't know. If the PS5 version is struggling with the frame rate, like I can't imagine wow, you're going for it, man.
I was.
Oh man, you got so far.
I did, and then for God's sakes, open the silo doors. For God's sakes.
But yeah, the game itself is very uninspired.
How much
plays okay, but it feels just dead and empty. And there's like so many like barrels and boxes that you can break. And like it would be fine if they were just like set decoration, but they like usually drop like items that are actually useful for like powering up your skill tree. Like your skill tree is powered up by, I'm not even sure if there's like experience necessarily.
I'm not gonna even play the demo. I'm just gonna it's just more fun.
You get these.
Just not even know.
You get these items that like you like spend like different types of items to power up like defense and attack and other parameters, and like you get those like from fighting enemies, sure, but you also get them from these barrels. So like I'm always feeling this like obsessive need to like destroy all the barrels, and it's kind of boring, and it seems very level based, which like part of me appreciates just its pure simplicity of it. Like it's not a complicated game. You know, it seems very straightforward and easy to play. It seems very linear, which I don't have a problem with that, but something about it does just feel a little.
I see that machine gun in there. I want it.
It feels like it doesn't feel like it has a lot of heart, but it's fine. but I'm going to get it. I mean, it's fine. I still haven't played through Lilith or Samaria. And I saw that Stefan Payne was also saying or Lilith on PS4/5. I forgot, is that a thing that's happening?
Yeah, Lilith is apparently it's like a pre-order bonus. You get the PSP version. But I don't even know if the PSP version is considered to be better than the original.
I don't
than the
either.
PS1, and I can't imagine that it is.
I don't know. I could see it. I mean that's the I played a few hours of that version. That's all I've ever played of it. And I just at the time I was starting my job and I just don't think I was in the right frame of mind to understand it. It just wasn't the right game at the right time. And I have not gone back to give it a second chance yet. In a lot of ways, I'm kind of more interested in Valkyrie Profile 2 just because I have not played a lot of Tri-Ace games on PS2, to be honest, but I have a fascination with them because they're just so technically impressive. I mean, Valkyrie Profile 2 is like an insane looking game visually on PS2. Like, it just looks really, really good.
I have more health than 9. So I'll save here. And...
Alright. There was also with no comment, a $7 from Mega X6.
Thank you.
Thank you as always. And then there was $5 super chat from Spazbo4 saying, are you able to play the Half-Life uplink that requires this game and the PS2 demo disc? What's that?
I have no idea.
Like, is that like a connecting to PS2s with the link cable type of thing?
It sounds like a lot of stuff. Without a lot of payoff. You know, it's like a lot of effort. How did that kill me from right there? Man, like the splash damage is crazy. Splash damage in this game is crazy, man.
And then there was $2 super chat from Demo Kirby. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying all of Half-Life 1 and 2 for Gordon was less than a week.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, like I don't know how many days this.
Can you imagine if all of Half-Life 1 and 2 happened to either one of us in between this stream and next week's stream? And then like we're just back.
It's like, oh man, guys, whoo!
You would not believe what a week we just had. Oh, is this? Do I hear the? See, that's when I think the game gets really good. Is when the like what is it? The people show up, and you're like, they gotta kill everybody.
I felt like they were like too aggressive. The human enemies.
Well, that was the whole thing, though. You know, like, does it ever explain like who sent them? I forget. We know who sent them.
G-Man? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big cover-up, I guess, right?
Yeah. Dang. That was pretty intense. He like vaporized himself.
But I just remember the enemies were too aggressive, and like as soon as you were out, they were just. I mean, it was pretty tough. I think I prefer the early game in this.
This game isn't like super long, if I recall.
I mean, I beat it in a weekend, but I committed to it pretty hard.
Yeah.
I think it's, in my memory, it was fairly long. I mean, it definitely doesn't have the variety that Half-Life 2 has.
Right.
But...
Oh, we got some music playing.
You know, I'm going to look up... You know what? I did not watch the State of Play on... What was it?
Yeah, whatever
Tuesday?
day it was.
Was it Tuesday?
Tuesday? I don't know. I don't remember.
I did not... It had Nintendo Direct and State of Play. And I did not watch the State of Play. I can't remember if I mentioned this before, but like... I realized like a month or so ago that it's like, you know what? Like I have still never seen God of War Ragnarok in action.
Yeah, so you're just like, I'm not gonna.
Like
I don't blame you.
Like,
I don't blame you.
That makes me actually kind of want to get it day one.
Yeah.
Just so I can be like, you know what? Like I made it through the pre-release period, like basically seeing nothing. Haven't seen a trailer. Haven't don't know where the story could be going aside from, where the first game leaves it. Like, I kind of just want to see if I can get all the way to release. If I can get all the way to release, having never seen the game in motion, like, I'm going to get it day one. Just because I did it.
I'm
going to get day one and I'm going to play it day one.
Seriously, like I think
like I'm not even like that. I'm not necessarily like ultra excited for the game or anything, but I'm just like, I just kind of like, I just feel like it's funny that I know basically nothing about it. And I just want to.
I think that's awesome. I think it's
if I can make it that far.
I get a lot of joy out of just not knowing anything about games now.
Just being unaware, blissfully unaware.
Yeah, just blissfully unaware of like what a game is going to have in it.
But what I did watch was the Nintendo. I'm going to Google everything on the Nintendo Direct. Let's. I mean, there was a lot of farm stuff. But boy, that Fire Emblem game, like,
people are really going crazy over the main character. Apparently,
that's like the worst. Are they? I've been curious what people are saying because I feel like that is the worst main character design I've seen in a long time. Like what is the opinion, the general opinion?
Like, you feel it's like the worst character design you've seen?
I feel like it's the worst character design I've seen in a long time. It maybe ever. Like, that is a character I do not desire to play.
Oh, I mean, I was just like, oh, that's cool. Like, I think their hair looks pretty cool.
I think it looks horrible.
Oh, well. I don't know. I'm not a...
But I still need to play Fire Emblem Three Houses anyway, so it's gonna be forever before I would play Engage anyway. I don't like the title either, Fire Emblem Engage. Like, I thought at first it was gonna be like some mobile thing.
Oh, I didn't see the trailer.
People were saying that there might be some elements similar to the Fire Emblem mobile game.
I don't know. I missed the trailer. I started watching it late, so I didn't see that.
DT Playthroughs just dropped a $5 super chat saying, have you played No One Lives Forever or Deus Ex on PS2? Classic PC games, but not sure about those ports. Both more mechanically dense than Half-Life. I have played a good bit of No One Lives Forever on PS2. I mean, I don't have any experience with the PC version. It's definitely a little rough, I would say, on PS2.
There's an Xbox version of is there an Xbox version of the first one, or is there only two? I have two on the Xbox. I'm pretty sure that I have the.
Wait, is there a console version of 2 at all?
Yeah, on the Xbox called The Invisible War. I have it. Hang on.
Really? But wait, the Wikipedia says it's called No One Lives Forever 2, A Spy in Harm's Way. It does not list an Xbox version on for No One Lives Forever. It doesn't list an Xbox version on Wikipedia.
I didn't see it over there. I mean, I have it, but I just couldn't. Is there a version of the first one on the Xbox?
No, I'm looking on Wikipedia and it only says Windows, PlayStation 2, Mac OS, and then No One Lives Forever 2, it only lists Windows and Mac OS. Like, it doesn't say anything about an Xbox version. I think you're making this up. I think you like had a dream and committed it to memory.
Of No One Lives Forever, or
I don't. The game you're talking about, I'm not sure it exists.
No One Lives Forever, Invisible War, or no? I'm not. I'm Deus Ex. No, the Invisible War.
Oh,
Did I?
You're talking Deus Ex.
Yes, that's what I was talking about. Sorry, I was putting them together.
But no, I do now. The PS2 version actually does have 1 or 2 levels that aren't in the PC version. I forget if they were ever like brought back to the PC version. I mean, I don't know if that's even realistic because I know that game is like infamously kind of mired in
How do I do that?
I think rights uncertainty. But yeah, I mean, you know, I like playing on consoles. I like playing with controllers. What can I say? You know, I value as much as I like, you know, high frame rates and good graphics and stuff. Like, I will still prioritize things like, you know, having a physical copy, which I mean obviously could be done with the original No One Lives Forever, but you know, I prioritize having a physical copy, you know, native controller support, stuff like that.
Darn it.
Playing on a system that is easy for me, that I regularly use, that I have hooked up and can easily use. Like, I value things like that over, you know, having the visually best version of the game. Like, you know, I'm really excited that there's going to be a PS5 version of Octopath Traveler 2.
Yeah.
Because I played the Switch version because it's the only physical version.
Right.
But boy, does it look a lot better on Xbox.
It makes you wonder if the first one will get a PS5 version then.
I know. Well, it's super unfortunate they haven't announced an Xbox version. I mean, you'd think it'd be so easy to do.
Yeah.
It was even on Game Pass. Maybe that's why it's not, because maybe Square Enix didn't want the second game on Game Pass, and Microsoft's like, well, we don't really care if it's not on Game Pass. I don't know. I do not know. But I'm really excited that it's coming to PS5 because this going to look so much better, run so much smoother than on Switch. You know, the concept of HD 2D is really cool, but I feel like it needs a little more clarity,
A little more power.
to really have the idea work.
Yeah.
and it's cool enough on Switch, but I'm excited to finally. I'm really excited that's going to be on PS5. Like I might even get and play that day one. Although I think like early next year, it sounds like there's going to be a lot of games. I don't know what all.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of things releasing in like February or something.
Well, all I know is that like when I finish Yakuza 2, Kiwami 2, there's like going to be 3 more eventually. Essentially, like for me to, I'm gonna have to play. Like it's going to be impossible to catch up because every time I play some, they're going to release more.
What, HD2D?
No, Yakuza.
Oh.
Like they like announced like 8, the Gaiden and the Ishin. Like
wait, what's Gaiden?
So it's a Kiryu game that takes place in between 6 and 7.
Is it new?
Yeah. And it's supposed to be like a shorter game. They said it's more like kind of like a Miles Morales type.
Oh, that's
length.
cool.
Yeah, but it explains what he's up to because, you know, like he's not in 7 much. Well, I mean, just the very existence of it, knowing that.
Well, yeah. Remember the words of Tim Rogers.
I know. Well, I mean, so. But no, you know the existence of it, though. Like, I mean, you know.
Well, the existence of a video game can be a spoiler.
Oh well, I guess so. Can you write down like the stuff that I know that you know exists, so I know not to mention it, or you need to make a running list of games that I know that you know exist.
But anyway, Rally Lancer also had a $5 super chat saying, all you need to know about the Direct is that they announced Radiant Silvergun and pulled it off the store an hour later.
Why did they...
Was that just for pre-orders or something?
No, I mean, it was like... I assume it's just the same thing as the Xbox Live Arcade version was. Why did they pull it down?
Maybe it went up early and wasn't supposed to?
No, they announced that it was like gonna be available like later that day during it, and they have not put it back either.
Maybe they just delayed the release a few hours or something. I don't know. I don't know much about that, but I mean, I'll definitely get it because it's, when there's a physical, because it's treasure.
Yeah, they'll definitely get a physical version, and I will buy that. It was laggy and buggy. Jeez, I'd like to know what the internal discussion was like leading up to that. Like, there's like, oh, just release it. No one's going to care. And then within like an hour, they're like, everybody cares. We need to pull it down.
That's probably not why it was pulled down. Dave Carr says, I think the Radiant Silvergun deal was an ESRB mix-up.
Oh. Also, 5 frames of lag. What kind of lag was there on the Xbox Live Arcade version?
I mean, it doesn't seem 5 frames of lag over the original or total? I mean, the original game had to have had some amount of built-in lag.
Jeez, these guys take a lot of shots. Let's go.
Alex Gavin has a $2 super chat and wants to know, why are there so many Like a Dragon games? I mean, that's kind of what kept me away from the series for so long.
That is like there's... I will admit that I feel like there's too many, like too
Do
quickly.
you feel daunted by like you have recently just like kind of totally fallen in love and you're like, oh, you're feeling all in. I mean, I don't think they really started to get long until much later though.
Right. Well, exactly. You know, I spent 30 hours on Kiwami 1 when, you know, the how long to beat was like under 20 hours. It comes down to how much side stuff you want to do. And I just think it's real. I think it's more fun, and I do this in RPGs a lot, where a lot of the extra time that I spend on it is just when I want to become like more powerful so that the ending of the game is really easy for me. I like doing that in RPGs because I hate that feeling of like, oh, I'm gonna fight the last boss and then you like can't beat the last boss like for a long time, and then you gotta leave and go and try to like grind or something like that.
Well, you would enjoy Xenoblade 3 then, because I found it very, very easy to, because like you know what level the enemies are in the Xenoblade games, and I found it very, very easy to stay like above the leveling curve. Like it was like just doing a few side quests that I wanted to do. Like sometimes I was like many levels above the recommended level for the main quest. And then the last area, I was able to just get like a ton of bonus experience because you're like uncovering so many things. And by the time I got to the final boss,
it was easy.
I matched the final boss in level.
That's kind of my dream scenario. That's what I'd like to happen. I don't want to.
And, you know, there was.
I don't care if like additional bosses are like really, really tough, but I generally want that final encounter like, and the build up and the payoff all to happen at one time. I don't want to like see the build up and be like, oh, I can't beat this guy, and now I got to go and like try to do all this stuff.
Yeah, well, Chris V is saying that he saw other people
crazy
complain that there's no checkpoints during the final boss sequence in Xenoblade 3, which luckily I didn't have to fall victim to that because I matched the final form and level and did not have trouble. So I was happy.
Yeah. This is where it gets real crazy, I guess.
Someone, I know. What I was going to say. You know, you mentioned how long to beat.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something this week about how, I guess, how long to beat was implemented into like the Windows Game Store or something like that.
Really?
It was implemented in something like that. And I saw like, you know, some people were saying like, oh, this is a bad thing because like, you know, there's already such a mentality of like, oh, you know, if a game isn't this many hours, then it's not worth it.
Yes.
And then, you know, the counter argument was, you know, well, you know, it's good for people to have, you know, realistic expectations of
what
the
they're
length
buying.
of content so that they won't be disappointed. And I like it never occurred to me until I read that people might use how long to beat to determine, is this game long enough? I have literally never looked at how long to beat wondering like, oh man, I hope this game has over 100 hours in it. Like I always look at it either to see like, oh wow, you know, that game doesn't seem like it's going to take that long. I think I'll play that soon. Or like to brace myself for a longer game to get a sort of an idea of like, well, all right, what's the commitment going to be? Like I've never, like it just never occurred to me that people might use it because for the opposite reason, like to like make sure a game isn't too short.
To make sure that it's not too anemic.
Too anemic. Like it never crossed my mind that was something someone could do with that website.
Like, yeah, I mean most never been like, oh, is this? I mean, I look at it to make sure that the games I want to play are not too long. Right? I mean, it's true. It is totally true. I almost always think of it
if
like
you made a quick save lately, I feel like you should be making a quick save.
I'm pretty sure that I did, but
apparently, how long? Someone said, Dr. Sever says, how long B is implementing everything now. I had no idea that it had like reached.
They got bought. It's owned by Zip Davis.
Yeah. I guess that did happen at some point, or I learned about that when I was reading this article or whatever. Alex Gavin says, if anything, how long B has been a deterrent from me playing long games.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so funny to me that like people's reaction is people are going to use this as a measure of like, oh, this game's not worth it.
Yeah. Although, like I've thought a lot about that too recently. Like with not knowing anything about a game, like I try not to like look up anything, like look up anything like on an FAQ or something like that when I'm playing it, and like I should make it more of a habit, unless in certain situations, like not to look up a game on how long to beat, because then I'm gonna be like, oh,
I've got to be coming up to the end now.
Yeah, like that's kind of the beauty of like when we played games before we had like the internet and stuff like that. It's like you had no idea how long it was going to be.
Well, I mean, heck, when I had only lightly played any Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 before I played.
I found them. Look, my head is on the fan blade.
I'd only lightly sort of just dabbled in Zelda 1, Zelda 2 when I played Link to the Past. I had no clue really what scope to expect the game to be, and I seriously thought it was ending after you get the 3 pendants.
Wait, in what game?
Link to the Past.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like people who had experience with Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 and knew how big those games were probably would have expected there to be more, or maybe they were reading magazines or stuff and they would have known there's more.
Right. But I didn't.
It's not even a quarter of the game. It's maybe a quarter of the game. It blew me away when I saw what came after. So yes, I agree with you, and I have done that where it's I don't want to know how long this is. But often, I would say more often than not, though, I kind of succumb to I want a vague idea of what kind of commitment this is.
Yes.
So I do look.
I get that. I totally get that. But I've also thought about, I have thought about starting games without looking right away. I don't look at it I play for a few hours, and there's something to be said about not knowing how long a game is going to be.
Ego Dreamer says, if the game is fine, you're having a good time, those 40 hours will fly like this. I mean, and I have no problem playing putting 100 hours into Persona or Dragon Quest. Games that, I can only play so many games like that. But
right, exactly.
Games that earn their length, though. Those games earn their length. They don't feel like they're long for the sake of being long. They keep you hooked and compelled, for that length of time, So every now and then playing a 100-hour game is fine, but generally, I don't mind it being a little short. But at the same time, I definitely do believe that something that video games can do that other mediums can't do as well, or struggle to do as well, especially movies and books, maybe to a lesser extent TV series or streaming series, is just there is an element of a connection that you make because you do spend more time with a game than you do with movies. Even a relatively short game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like even a 10-hour game, you're going to be with these characters and this story and everything that's going on for longer than a movie. Maybe even longer than like a movie trilogy, right?
Yeah.
You're playing like one 10-hour game for longer than an entire movie trilogy.
Yes.
Like there is something to be said of the connection and sort of commitment that you feel to it just from sheer length of time spent with it. There is an element of that, absolutely, but generally it's nice for a game to not be overly long, unless it's something like Persona or Dragon Quest where it earns its length. The end of the game feels like it has weight because like it's all been leading up to this,
Yeah. I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah, the Suikoden 1 and 2 remastered looks good.
Yeah.
Like the sprites look great. The backgrounds don't look like they're AI upscaled. As long as it's not like, I bet you it's made in Unity, and as long as they avoid that 50 hertz tick or whatever it is that they often have, please don't have that. Cloud FF7. There was just a few days ago announced Suikoden 1 and 2 coming to I think PlayStation, Switch, and probably Steam and stuff. I'm not sure about Xbox. That's super awesome. The sprites look great. From what I looked at in that one video, the combat video.
Mm-hmm. It looks pretty good.
It looks good. I don't think there's any anti-aliasing, which is probably appropriate for the look of the game. As a game that does sprite scaling, of course the original would be this way too. This is just what you're going to get with PS1 style sprite scaling. I mean, there is non-integer scaling going on. But I think it's okay, and especially if it's at a super high resolution, like we're talking 4K stuff, non-integer scaling is not going to be very noticeable, and it's going to be better than scaling on the PS1 game anyway. So in battle where the camera's moving and characters are jumping toward and away from the enemy. I mean that's just what you get when it comes to sprite characters in a 3D world. I mean, Octopath is going the same way. I saw what was that? I saw something that was I think it was a former Konami community manager or something like that, if I'm remembering correctly. I saw
was saying something about it.
A tweet linked somewhere where he said how happy he was to see this finally happen, and he wished all this time that they would actually bring Suikoden back because they have not revealed all of the true runes. There's 20 or 30 some true runes, and they've only revealed maybe 3/4 of them or something like that.
So, but if they bring it back, it's not going to have the original creator involved.
True.
Obviously anymore.
True. Well, I mean, I guess it's not impossible. I mean, Konami isn't really much about in-house development anymore anyway, I guess.
Right.
So,
Jeez.
They'll be hiring someone regardless, I'm sure.
These guys are still chatting over here. They didn't even hear me shoot their remote turret there.
Let me click back on this. Oh yeah. Fatal Frame 4. I'm really excited about that.
I didn't get the last one. I got to get the...
You don't have Made in Blackwater?
No.
I mean, you have to import a physical.
Right, yeah, and that's
which I did. I got the PS4 version.
Can I not get through here? How do I get...
I'm really excited about that though, because in recent Octobers I have played through the first 2 Fatal Frame games, and my goodness, they are tremendously good. They are just some of the best horror games, period. I mean, so good. So I'm quite excited that once I play 3, probably next October, because I played 2 last October, I'm going to play Silent Hill 4 this October. I'll be able to move on to 4 and then 5. So that's awesome. And I did not know that Suda51 directed it. Huh?
Directed what?
Fatal Frame 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was this story I saw it like reposted on Twitter or somewhere, where apparently Drum linked me to it. Here, let me bring this up. It was Drum that sent it to me. So here's apparently from some Suda51 interview from at some point. He said, Tecmo reached out to me for this project. I was a fan of the Fatal Frame series to begin with, but it was too scary for me. I didn't buy the Fatal Frame series at first. American zombies aren't all that scary, but in Fatal Frame, you go inside an old Japanese mansion deep in the mountains to rescue your big brother. A young girl can't be going into a place like that all by herself, can she? Any normal person would get out of there. If it was me, I'd tell her to go home. But in that game, you can't leave. You have to go. And it's all in a monochrome world on top of that. Of course something's in there, right? Of course a game like that would be too scary to play, right? I just kept running away from it. But my wife is a lover of horror, and she told me to play it. So I ended up playing it, and it was seriously no joke. It was monochrome and there was noise in the screen. You take just one step and something rattles and then a ghost pops out, right? Every night she made me play that game. At the time, I got so stressed out that I came out in these awful pimples. My wife would just roar with laughter as she watched me sit there in terror.
Dang.
So apparently he took apparently he took the job to direct Fatal Frame 4 because she liked Fatal Frame so much.
That's cool. I mean, I wouldn't think that he would do something like that now. Like he would just be hired for something that's like not
like an established series.
Or like a Grasshopper, like his own thing.
Well, I think Grasshopper did co-develop it.
Well, they would probably have to, but it's just weird that he wouldn't do something that's like his own thing. I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
All right, well, I'm still going down this Nintendo Direct list. Tunic was announced. That's pretty cool. I mean, I'm hoping there will be a PS5 physical of that. I mean, I'd be fine with an Xbox physical too, but I have more faith in Switch games and PS4 and PS5 games getting physical copies. So that was the most exciting thing about that. What was that? I think it was a State of Play when they announced that Tunic was coming to the PS5. That's 5 life/farming sim games. Was it really only 5? It felt like more than 5. Like, my goodness. Like, if not strictly farming, there was also games that was just all about like resource management and stuff like that. It's like, oh my gosh, like how, like I enjoyed Xenoblade 3, but like all the things you pick up in that game, Like there are so many items, like so many little items, and you don't really have to think too deeply about what you're getting because, you know, when you're crafting gems or you're completing some of those little mini quests, you have it or you don't. You know, I guess that you can intentionally seek it out, but when it comes to games that just are so overloaded with so many different items that you could never really learn or understand like what all these are, where they come from, and all just the minutia of that. Like I prefer games that have like a relatively limited number of items and equipment that like you can like wrap your hands around and store in your brain like, oh, okay, here's this thing. I know what this thing does or what this thing is or who wanted this item. Like it's sometimes just too unmanageable, but like, oh, resource management and all this kind of stuff. Just a time sink. Yeah, that's right. Like sometimes I think that's what a lot of people want these days. A lot of people they want a time sink. They want a time sink.
All right.
There's nothing wrong with that every now and then, I guess. I'm definitely interested in the front mission games.
You know what I hate about I hate that Forever Games, like the people that are making that they have to call them all so and so remake. Like remake is like the subtitle for it.
Oh, well, they've done other things, right?
They did Panzer Dragoon remake. They did House of the Dead remake. I hate that remake is like the subtitle for it.
Well, I mean, in Final Fantasy VII remake, it works, but
yes,
but yeah, that is a little weird. I mean, hopefully those turn out pretty good. I mean, it'd be nice to have those in English at least.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm excited.
I mean, I don't have any front mission games. I've never.
I have
played
3
one.
and 4.
I've dabbled in the action one, like the sort of Cybernator like one. I forget what that one's called on Super Famicom.
Which one? Oh, the Gun Hazard. Or is it Gun Hazard? Like the one that looks like.
Yeah, I think so. It's an action game.
Yeah, by the the Assault Suit people.
Was it by them?
Yeah, it's the same director. Yeah.
Really? I did not know that actually.
It's good. It's good. I mean, I played it on the EverDrive. You should try it sometime. I wonder if it's expensive.
Yeah, I've tried it.
Will you see how much?
I don't think it's super expensive.
So can anyone tell me where I'm supposed to be going? I thought for sure I'd be able to climb up here, but I guess not.
Wow, it's like all repros coming up on eBay.
Okay, so it's gonna be.
Well, but here's like a super fan. It's like $14.
Oh well, so I guess all the repros are translations.
I'm sure. Well, here's some that are like $30. You can probably find some better deals though, but the real copies don't seem to be expensive.
Like they're like $15.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's a complete Super Famicom copy. That's $40.
Oh.
I didn't realize that the artwork was a mono. I mean, I'm looking at it and it's clearly a mono artwork.
I'm back here now. Past the fan. Do I gotta destroy the fan? Or do I gotta just like drop down and hope that I survive? Because I can do that.
Sandy, do you have to go pee? Sandy needs to go pee.
She's like, I gotta pee. I gotta pee. There's a ladder next to the fan. I gotta destroy the fan, you think? Oh. I go in here? Or is this taking me back the wrong way? Let's see what happens. Let's see where this goes. That's one that's beeping to stop. Oh, so I'm back here. I got plenty of ammo. Here we go. Yeah, the beeping. I know. I'm trying to get away from it.
Well, so much for the government. Their idea of containment is to kill everyone associated with the project.
The government's idea of containment is to kill everyone involved.
Right? Now look, anyone can end this catastrophe. It's the science team in the Lambda complex at the opposite end of the base. With the transit system out, I couldn't tell you how to get there. But there's an old decommissioned rail system somewhere through here, beyond the silo complex. If you can make it through the rocket test labs, you might be able to worm your way through the old tunnels to track down whatever's left of the Lambda team. You can trust them. You can trust all of us. Good luck.
All right. Oh, I'm back out here now.
So I have a mystery for everyone.
Ooh.
I went to my parents' house this week, and in my bedroom, sitting on the dresser, was this sheet of Nintendo stickers.
Okay.
It's got Mario Kart 8, it's got Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Animal Crossing, Pokemon Legends Arceus, and Splatoon 3.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll use some Kirby and Mario Kart stickers.
And you're
Why not?
just wondering where it came from?
Where did it come from? Like, I asked my parents, they're like, I don't remember.
Is it
like they obviously came across it and are like, oh,
did they maybe get it from Cold Stone? Is there a Cold Stone ice cream place? Because Cold Stone has like different kinds of Nintendo sundaes right now. I got a Kirby sundae, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and they come in like special.
I kind of doubt they would have gone to Cold Stone because they're more into like Dairy Queen and Brewster's.
Oh well,
I don't think my mom liked Cold Stone that much, so I doubt it. That's all They couldn't remember how they came across it, but I mean they saw that and saved it for me, and I'm just like, where did these stickers come from? They do not remember.
Yeah, well maybe they decided to go to Cold Stone. Maybe they saw like, oh, Cold Stone has these Nintendo things.
Maybe, but you'd think they would remember that they went there specifically. Like, oh, Marc.
They didn't know. They didn't know where they got them either. Is that it? Like they didn't know either. They didn't remember.
No,
where they
that's
got
what I'm
them.
saying. Like I said, where did you get these stickers? And they're like, they don't remember how they got them. Like it's just weird that anything like this would have. Like, even if it came in the mail or something, like, why would it have gone to my parents' house, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen that pack of stickers in my life, and there it is.
Well, there it is.
I do not know how it came to be.
You know, I was annoyed. I was annoyed when I got my Kirby sundae. I didn't want the Kirby sundae. I thought that the Mario Party sundae looked the best.
Mm-hmm.
But I only got I didn't want the Mario Party, like, it comes in a cup of, like, for each game.
Oh, like a cup that you get to keep?
Yeah. And I was like, I wanted the Kirby cup, right? So I was like, I guess I'll get the Kirby cup. And I didn't really want the Kirby Sundae, but I did it anyways.
Well, was it good?
No, well, I got it, and then they gave me the Mario the Mario Party cup anyways.
Oh, you got the Kirby Sundae and the Mario Party cup?
Yeah, like, so I just got both things that I didn't really even want.
You got one that you didn't want. Oh,
but,
man.
It happens.
You know, like, that's a risky business, though, honestly. I mean, if it was a kid ordering that and they didn't get the cup they want, like, that's going to be a scene, you know?
Yeah. I thought I'd be able to drive that thing, but I guess not. Am I supposed to be able to drive that thing? I was hitting the wrong button. That's why I was... Now that I think about it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Look at that.
Mr. Doss think you should have made a scene.
No, it was like full of people, and I was like with the kids. I tried to talk them into getting different kinds, but they were like, I just want cotton candy.
Are they in one Nintendo one?
No. All they care about is their blue cotton candy ice cream. That's like literally the only thing that they ever get. I want cotton candy with gummy bears in it.
You know, I have to admit, I had one of Dairy Queen's summer blizzards was a dirt pie. It was, or Oreo dirt pie, and it was like chocolate with Oreo and gummy worms in it.
It does not get better than that. Like I mean, it does.
It was
get
pretty
better.
amazing.
Like cookies and cream, easily my favorite kind of ice cream. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna, like, die in the green stuff.
Sandy, come here. What are you fussing about?
Ooh, I'm gonna.
I do not remember those enemies with those like tentacles coming out.
Maybe they're exclusive.
So is all they have like the Mario Party and the Kirby, or is there more?
No, they have an Animal Crossing one. And I mean, you can look them up. Look up the Cold Stone Nintendo Sundays.
Cold Stone Nintendo. Let's see what they got. Let's see.
Oh, geez, that noise that made was really sad. There's nothing coming up.
It's not coming up on their website. I think it might just be Mario Party, Kirby, and Animal Crossing, maybe?
Yeah, I think those are the only three. But if you look at those, which Sunday do you think looks the best?
Oh man, the Animal Crossing, easily. It's like chocolate with strawberries and bananas, which aren't really an Animal Crossing thing unless they patch that in.
No.
Well, I mean, the chocolate base kind of sells me there.
But the Mario Party is like birthday cake.
Yeah, I mean the Kirby would be my last pick, but it still looks good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not.
Is there really a cup you can reuse though? Because they kind of look flimsy.
No, they're just like normal cups. But I would have kept it. I would have washed it and like use it like on my desk or something like that.
I see.
But I wasn't gonna keep it. And it's just stupid Mario Party.
Well, I mean, the Mario Party Superstars is really good. But yeah, Kirby would. I mean, I would like the Kirby Cup with the Animal Crossing Sunday. But the Mario Party does look really good too.
Oh, jeez, I'm out of machine gun bullets. I need some more bullets. Maybe I should do a save here.
Well, let's see what else was.
What
there.
percentage of the way through the game am I at this point? I wonder. If
Uh,
I'm like, you think I'm like halfway or not even close?
let's see. Can you see, like, on the save menu, like, what chapter you're in?
Yes. When I get up here, I will, you know. How long would be look up?
Yeah, because each chapter has, like, a name.
Petty, please say, I would say about 15% through the game. We've got hostiles.
Was that your old one or is that your new one?
That's
I
blast pit.
This is 10:31 p.m. unless your clock is wrong. What blast pit?
Yeah.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's you're on the 5th of 17 chapters.
Oh, wow.
But now you've got to save a decent ways into this game that you can use in videos.
Yeah. Well, I should really go out of my way to finish it just so I have it more fresh in my mind.
You know, isn't it kind of weird how soon
Whoops.
Bayonetta 3 is coming out?
I'm really excited about that. Oh, here we go. I'm real excited about it though.
It's kind of sad that apparently like Platinum has like not been doing well lately as like a business.
Well, they probably, I mean, maybe that's the reason it's probably going to be real good because they know that it's like they gotta
make or break.
Yeah.
Like, cause I mean, even though Platinum's been around for a while, there's still like, for a Japanese studio that has the, you know, the capability of pulling off like a AAA quality character action game, like for something like that to have come up even in the past 15 years, you know, about when they started up. You know, that's impressive. I mean, they were, especially during the PS3 360 era, you know, Japanese developers had a hard time adapting to that era. And I feel like to see a new developer come up and have the success they did, or at least, you know, I don't know in terms of financial success, but like success in making some really good games.
Yes.
And becoming really known for having the capacity and know-how to make a you know, really high-end character action game. You know, I always consider them one of Japan's big development success stories.
Yeah, and if they're
it's kind of sad to hear that they've been having trouble.
Yes.
Yeah, and then apparently that Babylon's Fall was really terrible. But I mean, is there even an offline mode to that? Like, it's weird.
Oh, I forgot about this.
No! Get it off me!
Oh, I remember this, yeah. Definitely an iconic scene.
Yeah. I don't remember what I gotta do. Do I gotta hit all the buttons to do the... I gotta start it up, though, I assume. Oh, Babylon's Fall is getting shut off in February.
Yeah.
That's really sad.
Pearl Jammer said Dino Crisis HD remake is needed, and that that was Exoprimal, I think is what it's called. That like squad shooter. Like if that game has like a single player, I'll get it. But if it's just nothing but multiplayer squad stuff, like yeah. Like I love the idea of that game. Why are you being so fussy? You did not pee when we went out. You just being fussy for the sake of being fussy. But I saw apparently the redheaded lady in that game is, I think her name is, Majesty or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they point out that in, I think it's Latin, Regina means queen.
Oh.
So, like, maybe there is kind of a connection there.
Maybe. Oh my gosh.
Because I was so excited when the trailer for that came up. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Dino Crisis 4. Because
but Regina's only in the first two. She wasn't in 3, I assume.
I think that's true, but like I would expect if they brought the series back that they would bring her back.
Yes.
Since 3 wasn't very popular.
Have to run, think, and shoot to live.
Did you read 2 + 2 is chicken's advice?
No.
2 + 2 is chicken.
2 + 2 is
chicken.
Is that what it's?
I just can't believe it. You're amazing.
I mean, it makes you feel good when you hear somebody say that. I mean, it's just like my daily affirmation. I look in the mirror and say,
I just can't believe it. You're amazing.
And then, like I pick out my clothes for the day.
Cool decision.
Oh man. It's I picked it because it's really stupid for one thing.
It is really stupid.
But that's like kind of the appeal of it. Is just how stupid it is.
See, Alex Gavin, I actually played Dino Crisis 3 for the first time a few months ago. And when I say I play it, I play it for like 5 minutes. But it seemed like it had potential, maybe. I mean, I've always heard it's bad, but like, dude, it's dinosaurs in space.
Yeah, I mean,
like being bad is like kind of part of the appeal, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think a game about dinosaurs in space needs to be good to be good.
Dinosaurs.
Okay, Leprechaun in Space was not good. I can get down with some in space, but yeah, Leprechaun in Space was maybe the series low point.
I mean, Jason X wasn't very good either.
I mean, there's an appeal to it, though, right?
The best part of that entire movie is like when the android girl like kicks his butt. But she gets like killed afterwards. But still, it was like that's like the best part of the movie. They're ultra creepy, these things. I know that's the whole point, but that's like scarier than like a lot of things.
I mean, Half-Life is
It's scary.
definitely has some horror elements that never were really part of how people seem to perceive it, but it's definitely
I thought it was dead for sure.
Horror themed. Whoa! You grabbed that ladder at the last second.
Am I a big August is Falling fan? Yeah, I mean, I liked them before they were like really as popular as they are now. Like I liked them before they were cool.
I don't know, Dingus Glare. I thought the Leprechaun in the Hood movies were weirdly. I mean, they were bad, but enjoyably bad. Probably my favorite moment. I can't remember if it was in the Hood 1 or in the Hood 2.
Wait. So there's two of them?
Yes, there's two Leprechaun in the Hoods.
Wait, I feel like is 2 like almost recent?
I mean,
isn't Leprechaun played by Warwick Davis?
Yeah, but there's been 2 Leprechaun movies that were made after he stopped playing the role. But I think In the Hood 2 was the last one that he did.
Who took over the role for him?
Well,
what was the name of Warwick Davis's character in Star Wars Episode 1? I want to say it was Kit Fisto, but it wasn't, right? Like that was like Anakin's friend.
I don't remember. I
mean,
the best part of the Leprechaun movies is that like you can tell Warwick Davis is just having like so much fun.
All right, here we go.
But Drum and I watched those like 2-3 years ago.
Both of them.
All of them. All of the Leprechaun movies. But no, the ones that it's not Warwick Davis. There's one where it's more of like a more sort of feral type creature. And then there's another that's a kind of a direct sequel to the first movie.
Oh.
And it's not him. But it's going sort of for his style, but it didn't come off the same way.
It's not as good.
It's not as good. But I like the idea that they like followed up on the first movie directly. But anyway, I forget if it was In the Hood 1 or In the Hood 2. But one of them as like my favorite moment in any of the Leprechaun movies, where where like there's this cop car that pulls up. Mm-hmm. And like the camera angle is low, where you see like the door swing open, and then you see the cop's leg like stomp outside the car.
Right.
And then the leg just falls over, and the leprechaun comes out of the car. It's amazing.
That's funny.
It's really
that's impressively funny.
It's extremely funny. It's just his leg. Because he killed him. It's very funny. Probably the best one is I think it's the third one, which is the Las Vegas one. that one is goofy in mostly good ways.
See, there was That's $4.99 from Daniel Nichols. Thank you. Saying, YouTube brought the love of video games back into my life. Rarely get to catch a live stream. Thanks for all the awesome videos. Well, good
thank
news
you.
is videos are back. They are going to be back starting
Almost
this week.
Back
Yes.
this week.
Yes. But I'm feeling inspired. Feeling good in the neighborhood. But thank you. I mean, I guess when you think about it, like we've had 201 like full regular episodes, so it was like a good time to like have a little break, I guess. 200 episodes. But although in just like a couple of weeks here, we're coming up on 9 years.
Yeah, that's right.
On
It's a long
1st.
time.
9 years.
Been at it.
I thought I was going the right way. I thought I had to go back, but I guess not.
BBA, I actually started to make a ColecoVision RGB video early on in the RGB series. I shot some material as kind of like a before because I couldn't get any coherent picture out of the RF at all. Like you could kind of make out some stuff, but the signal was not in good condition. I sent it off to get RGB mod, and like that was like at a time that we were less, I think, discerning.
Well, we didn't really know. I mean, you sent it.
Like
then you sent it out to somebody who is kind of a little infamous these days.
Yes. Yes. And it did not. The RGB mod did not come back working very well at all.
Infamous for like using lots of hot glue, right?
Yes, and epoxy. And I've talked to Dan about how to fix it. I need to talk to him about that a bit more because he knows he's done some research and stuff on ColecoVision. But yeah, I need to get that fixed. But yeah, I almost did one. I would have done it if the mod were good, but it wasn't.
All right, here we go again. Stay away from me. Don't touch me.
I wonder how the level geometry in this version compares to the PC version.
That'd be a good question.
John's done a video on this, right?
I don't think so.
Really?
I feel like it would be an interesting thing for him to do. I bet he hasn't.
Feels like something he would have done that.
I know it does.
If he has, I'm sure I've watched it, but I can't remember.
I mean, there was people saying that the Dreamcast version is better, but the big thing for me is like the twin stick ability.
Yeah.
That you're not going to get with that version.
Yeah. That's pretty huge.
I mean, the controls are pretty great in this.
Yeah, that was kind of part of the big revelation for me with Time Splitters 2 a few years ago, because I originally had it on GameCube. I was like, oh, this is good. But then playing on PS2, like the controller just makes so much more sense for it, because the octagonal gate on
yeah.
GameCube, I feel is like
I
I
don't know what
like
just
that in
happened
a
there.
lot of games, but I feel it is not FPS friendly.
Oh. That's what happened there. I just like randomly died and didn't know why, and it's because the elevator came down on my head and crushed me. I mean, the controls on the Dreamcast version, it probably uses the face buttons in place of another.
But but even then, like, it seems like it doesn't have enough functionality for like turning on your flashlight and switching weapons and stuff.
Yeah. Can I grab onto the... Nope. Yeah, mouse and keyboard you'd have to use.
Ugh. But see, the Time Splitters 2 controls on PS2, I just thought were beautiful, and like it combined. What blew me away was how it's like, wow, this is combined like modern first person shooter controls with, but it still kind of has that GoldenEye feel, and GoldenEye sort of structure and level design, mission design, and I think. Because I was really not into first-person shooters generally at that time. I've never considered it one of my main genres. I mean,
Gordon, get out of here.
It's been quite some time since I've played like a modern first-person shooter. Anyway, but I like them. But it's not a genre I play a lot.
It's like I just go swim in that stuff, and I'm like, why am I covered in this goo? I'm covered in this goo.
But at the time, like GoldenEye and Perfect Dark, like that was what I wanted out of first-person shooters. You should probably quick save.
I did. I've done it.
Yeah, you did it as soon as you did on my screen right after I said it. But at the time, like that's what I wanted out of first-person shooters, and so I was like, oh, this is fine. But like, it wasn't that long after Perfect Dark, right? So by the time I revisited it, like so much more time had passed, and then when I played it, it just really hit me like, man, they don't make games like this anymore. And so I appreciate it so much more. One, with a PS2 controller, yes, but also just because the distance from anyone really making games like that really made it so much more enticing, I guess. Just because it was such a unique experience all that many years later. I got Second Sight when John was here.
Oh yeah.
Got the Xbox version. I'm
I think I
looking
have
forward
that
to
too.
playing that. I know it's third person. I don't know whether to expect like a GoldenEye type structure or not.
So it's kind of weird that new GoldenEye is going to have no online on the Xbox version. Like, I wonder if that was part of the deal. Like, they said, if we're going to do this...
Oh dear.
I don't know. The fact that they're not doing it with new graphics is like a massive bummer. And the fact, too, that the CEO of Night Dive revealed they almost did it.
Yeah.
And it's just emulated on both systems. I mean, that's just... Man. I have no special desire to like... I'll probably take a peek at the Rare Replay version someday, but like...
Oh, is it just going to get added into Rare Replay?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Oh.
or Game Pass. You can access it either way.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's just I just don't have that much desire to play an emulated version of it. You know, like I wanted like the visual overhaul. I mean, I played like maybe a third of the 360 version through the emulator, and it's amazing. It's super great.
Okay, so I started this thing up. What's it do now? It does underneath here. Was I supposed to stay on the top?
And you know, I'm you know, as always with N64 games, I'm very skeptical whether the you know, the controller sensitivity will be translated correctly in a satisfying way to the new versions. Because the N64 games, man, that controller, very precise. The games were designed to use that precision. I know people don't believe it, but it is more accurate
Someone has restored all power. We'll have the
than
engine
modern
up in
analog
time.
sticks, and it was programmed. People programmed the games to really capitalize on.
Yeah. All right, I've restored all power. Does that? What do I gotta do now? I gotta go all the way back up. Does that like kill the creature?
Oh yeah, I did see the Agent 64 thing. Hopefully that comes to consoles. That did look appealing.
What's that?
It's like a Steam thing. I'm not sure if it's out yet, but there was like a trailer for it several months ago. It's just called Agent 64, and it you know, it's like, you know, it's very much attempting to have like GoldenEye style graphics. You know, modern throwback game.
Oh, that's right. You're right there. Just give me that stuff. Imagine how painful that is every time that little needle goes in the. Probably goes into like a hole in the suit, though. Really.
There was a $5 super chat from Retro YPBPR.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Saying, can I get you guys to say some very famous quotes like jail bars? Jail what?
Jail
Sink.
what?
Not that again. What? Oh my gosh, these old. Whew.
Sink, not that again.
These old quotes. Oof. I don't like these early RGB quotes. That's some...
Whatever. You know what?
People were extremely critical.
We're having fun.
People were extremely critical of my speaking speed. In those
like earlier, just like you speak so
people
slow.
Were like, this guy speaks so slow. Pro tip: play the video at 2 times speed. And then he actually speaks like normal.
That's a pro tip.
I mean, I did, I think, improve my delivery, but like at the time, like I thought like I'm like
slowly sliding off the corner of the camera. Sorry, but like I'm just like moving off the edge slowly. Oh, something's happening now.
But I thought at the time that was, you know, I was trying to do a good clear delivery. But now I think I still do a clear delivery, you know, a little faster. I've dialed in my speaking speed over the years. I think. My presentation speed. Obviously, you know, without a script, I stumble and stutter and go over and uhs, and you know, I can't help it. But I've kind of tuned my script speak. SCART Knables. That one was fun. Like I just said it, and like if normally I catch myself when I've said something wrong or said something the wrong syllable, and like that I did that whole sentence. And I just like confidently moved on. Like, yep, that was it. That was the take. I did it. Then I'm like editing. I'm like, I just said SCART Knables. I think I had another shot. I can't remember if I.
What? How come that's not firing now? What did it? The power is restored, but not the oxygen and fuel. What do I have to do to the other stuff? I thought there was only. Did I miss something? I must have missed two things somehow. So I did the power down here. Does that mean I gotta go up one? I thought I did everything on the one above it.
K-League Gamer say, SCAR is easy for us in Europe. It's been around decades. You know, I was talking to Ganny Man before the stream. We were doing some Final Fantasy 11 related things. And he was saying that he was on a business trip in Canada, but meeting up with German coworkers. And they were... When he was talking to them about SCART, he said they had nothing but bad memories.
Oh, maybe I need to.
I don't know what all the struggles of using SCART may have been like back in the day. I mean, there's certainly. I mean, it was meant to be an easy all-in-one connector, but I guess there could have been issues of, well, maybe it's just composite or.
Can I not?
This or that.
Am I missing something here?
But I would think SCART would be all positive memories aside from the 50 hertz. I mean, no one had the perfect system back then. It was either not RGB or not 60 hertz. Unless you were like super in the know, which almost no one was.
I just want to try and kill this thing. I feel like that's a good time to end it. If I can kill this thing.
Yeah.
I thought for sure that I... Yeah, I started the fan back up. I can't go back down, can I? Need to go down the sewer and find the O2. Okay.
Oh yeah, Coury was whispering in the very, very, very early videos because his daughter was like, a baby sleeping in the room next door.
Exactly.
You were in a New York apartment, so you
Yeah.
couldn't get very loud.
It's crazy to think about that, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it was just like on the other side of the wall.
Japan did have JP21, but my understanding is it was extremely uncommon. Whereas SCART was like basically universal, as far as I understand. But my understanding is that JP21 did not exist on very many TVs. In fact, like JP21 is kind of... Actually, I think that's Rachel from Retro Access. I think she's kind of the one that coined that term because it just kind of makes it easier for us to understand what it is and where it comes from. But like, they didn't really have a proper name for it. I think it was just kind of called 21-pin connector. but it's a little easier to understand what it is when you use the term JP21. So I appreciate her coming up with that.
Yeah. I didn't realize that it was her.
Yeah, that was... She just kind of had to come up with a way to... I mean, I think there were kind of a few terms that were in some ways coined by her, or at least popularized by her, because she just kind of had to come up with some sort of way to make clear what you were buying, like on her early eBay listings, right?
Yeah, can I not... So that's not the way I need to go.
You've already done all this, haven't you?
I have, yeah. So I'm saying I gotta go on the sewers.
But wait, is that switch below that fan? Is that something?
Oh,
that
maybe. Oh, wait. Maintenance area. Maybe this one. Did I not go to the... No. Okay, so the sewers are down here. What is this? What is this? Can I not? I can't shoot underwater. Wait.
Do you need a crowbar?
Yeah. I'm missing something really obvious here, I think.
But in my experience, when you're going in circles,
Go up the fan shaft to find a new tunnel.
When you're going in circles for this long, there's like some fundamental understanding that the game should have communicated to you, but it just didn't click for some reason, you know?
Yeah. The fan shaft. I can't go up any further.
The fan will propel you upwards?
I guess so. I mean, I saw that wood up there before.
As a physicist, I wonder if Gordon Freeman disagrees with this.
Yeah, like I wouldn't expect that.
I wouldn't expect that fan to be that powerful.
Yeah, but alas.
Or if it was, for you to be able to swing that crowbar to break that wood, if it's that powerful.
Look at, there's a roach. Look at the AI. The AI on that roach is insane. Crazy AI is on these roaches. Man, would you look at the AIs on those roach? That roach has so many AIs going on with it. Oh, jeez. Here you go, guys. Got him. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, we are in business. But I'm gonna die. I got 12 hit points left. I'm gonna go for it though. Will I survive? Okay. See, I feel like I gotta play all the way through this because I'm not gonna remember my way around. Like, further than, like, 12 hours later. Morgan Freeman should be in the next game. That'd be pretty great. Go for it. Run.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm going to have a guest next week since you're not going to be here, so.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know if I got any pull with Morgan Freeman.
Oh.
Lean
Oh, he
towards
got me. I got me good, Odell. Here we go. Do I need... This might... I might be going the wrong... Oh, here we go. I swear to God, I killed this thing. I'm like so close to being dead. I don't want it. I'm so afraid. No, 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 no. Leave me alone. No, 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 no. All right, here we go.
Oh, you got everything powered on?
I think so. Let's see it. Do it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how you do it.
You know, for some reason, seeing that thing writhing there made me think of, you know, I played Halo 2 recently, and what like there was like that
The grave mind?
The sentient flood thing.
Yeah.
Like he just like appears out of nowhere.
It's complete nonsense.
Like it's
And
just like
I think you got to read the books to understand it.
Like it's just like all of a sudden, like, oh, here's this big. There was like no reveal to him at all. Like it's all of a sudden, oh, all of a sudden he's got Master Chief and the Arbiter wrapped up. Like
when that happened, like
there's no lead up to it at all. It's just
at
there.
all. Like nobody was playing that game, and I guarantee you that 100% of the people playing it, not one person said
that's good.
Like they were like not happy about it.
Like I was just like I was like watching it and just like felt like I had this
like
feeling
where did
like
this even come from?
I took a nap and missed something.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what happened? Where did that come from? Did I miss something? Was I not paying attention? It was just there. It was just there.
I mean, nobody was playing the game and they got to that part and thought,
cool decision.
Well, I'm glad that my 2022 impressions compare well to your
it's complete nonsense.
Whatever the heck it was. Huh?
It was complete nonsense. It's still complete nonsense. And like,
yeah,
like the worst part about it is like, like now that that's been introduced, like that's got to be a part of the third one. Mm. You know, like of course it's got to be part of the third one.
I mean, I'm not necessarily opposed to the idea of him. I mean, I'm very uninvested in the story as a whole, but I was just so confused. Like, what is this? Why is it here all of a sudden? Why was there no build up? Like, there were a lot of like weird little things like that. Actually, like,
well, it's like they removed stuff or they, like they needed to cover certain ground in the story. Yeah, I mean there
seemed to just be a lot of gaps in logic and presentation. Like in the very beginning of the game, when the Covenant finds Earth, like there was no moment of like in the first game, it was like such a big deal that they still didn't know where Earth was. And like, they couldn't allow them to get a hold of Cortana. It was extremely important for Cortana to not get captured. Because if they found that out, they might find out the location of Earth.
Right. And then they know.
But then like at the very beginning of the second game, it's just like, oh, here they come, big battle coming up. It's like no one paused. There's like, oh, bleep and bleep, bleep, they found Earth, what? You know, there was like no, like they needed to be like significantly more surprised and alarmed than they were, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, especially since it was such a big point in the
first game.
Yeah, I mean, they found they found the Halo because like they did that jump away to like make sure that they don't find Earth, right? That's how they ended up in the situation they were in at the
right.
But you know, whatever. I mean, you know, it was the third one's really good, at least. It's just it's really fun to play.
We're probably going to play that in November or December.
You should definitely get some people to play 4 players.
That's right. I keep forgetting that you.
I mean, if I can do it, I will definitely do it. But I mean, regardless, you should have 4 people play because it's just fun.
We'll see. I mean, I don't know if it's not you. I don't know how badly I want to expand beyond 2.
Oh, all right.
Well, we'll see. Don't let me forget that you want to do that because I keep forgetting you want to do.
Well, you'll have to let me know when you're going to do it. I mean,
well, it's probably going to be November or December. So.
Okay. I mean, it's possible. I mean, that should be easy enough. You know, in the Gravemind, there's only like one. In my opinion, there's only one like bad level in the third game.
That's an improvement over the first 2 for sure.
Yeah.
Especially the first. The first has several bad levels.
But yeah, I mean, we've talked about this already before. But you know, like at the time, they were not considered to be like bad levels. They were just like a means to, you know, to like make it longer. I think.
Yes.
Anyways, I think that's gonna do it. It for this week. Thank you to everybody who donated and everybody who hung out. Look for the episode this week. I'm going to be really pushing hard to make sure to try to get it done by Wednesday. I mean, if I run
hopefully that means it'll release like Thursday or Friday then.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm traveling this weekend, so I won't be on next week's stream. I'll actually be at my brother's house.
Well, let me know what you need to.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to look over the N64 section,
get it wrapped up. Yeah, I mean,
the script it's kind of messy, but it's like
segments that you want me to look at.
I mean, you are more than welcome to like start from the top if you want to. I mean, I still need all I need to do is just like I'm just like editing the Dreamcast portion, so all I have to do is GameCube. You know, like I'm gonna have a little bit in there on the Xbox memory card, but and the Xbox 360 memory card, but they are like completely worthless these days. They're super like you don't need them. In fact, I like bought an Xbox, like a brand new one, Xbox memory card on eBay. It's like still sealed, so I'm gonna like I bought this and like I can't do anything with it. Like there's nothing I can. It was pointless. The only reason I bought it is because it was cheap and it was like still sealed and it had like an FYE price tag on it. I mean, it made sense at the time, but there's like, you know, there's not a whole lot of a reason to have one now, especially when you can just use a you can get a Xbox controller port to a USB. Like I'll talk about that really quick, but there's not a whole lot of when you actually use mine, when I got a different Xbox going, like you transferred like your Xbox Live settings or something like that, maybe, or your profile settings. That's a good point. Maybe I'll send you a message on Discord to see if there's anything that I'm missing.
If anyone feels really passionate about Xbox or Xbox 360 memory cards and think Coury is overlooking some crucially useful functionality for them, send him a message.
Yeah, I mean the Xbox 360 had the memory cards, but that was all like it was only on the original like systems.
Well, it was because like hard drives were not mandatory.
Yeah. Air Force Delta stores save files and game data save on the memory card. I mean, is that only? Yeah,
only
is it only
to a
save
memory
on
card?
that?
Won't save to a hard drive?
I mean, that's something gives me something to say at least if that's true. Anyways, I hope that everybody has a great week ahead of them, and we'll see you on stream next week. Take care, everybody. Good night.
Good night.